Hey, we're on YouTube now, playing D&D. Hi, YouTube. So thanks for joining. This is episode 1 of Outsiders Arcana. We're gonna play D&D, Homebrew, 5th edition. There's gonna be a lot of things you don't understand, because we're a quarter of a way through a campaign. We'll explain that later if we hit some goals with subscribers, so anybody watching, like, subscribe, hit the bells. That goes for the players too that are also just sitting on the screen. Do that. Chat will be up, and notifications will be up for those of you watching, but I will not be commenting or having a discussion with you because I am DMing, so don't expect that from me. And with that, we'll jump into our game. We will start out with... Do you guys want to recap first, or do you want to describe your characters?
Let's describe our characters.
Alright. Whichever one of you wants to take that, go for it.
Oh, I guess I'll go first since I mentioned it, so makes sense. So I am Pharaoh Nata. She is a dwarf with bright red ginger hair. It is shaven on one side with some war braids on the other. She has silver armor with intricate detail of blue and gray accents, and her warhammer is about her size and it matches. And she has tons of piercings in her eyebrows, her nose, her ears, her lip. Basically, they're each a different metal of her blacksmithing background that she has. That is Pharaoh.
Thanks, Pharaoh. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. I am Bill Brasky. So he's a roughly 6'6'1", half elf, mostly bald. Light sheen of peach fuzz starting to grow on his head now. Black and white salt and pepper beard. He is donning some leather armor. It looks a little bit like a blazer with a turtleneck underneath, which is super dapper. All right, and that's Bill.
I am playing Flynn Yurikin Cecilio Kite. He is a halfling wizard. He's about 3'1", 41 pounds, shoulder-length red hair, clean-shaven face. He has a sweet holster with a spell book in it, a backpack, and he wears a swashbuckler's like pirate jacket, blue, with some gold trim and a matching captain's hat. And that's about it. I don't think I missed any descriptions. A young man, about 24 years old.
Thanks, guys. Had to make sure I turned my mic on the stream as well, because now I have to control 3 mics when I talk. How fun! With that, we'll jump into a recap. So it's been a hot minute since we played last, so I will try to cover whatever it is I remember from 3 weeks ago. You all are in a city called Roxhold at the moment. A city constructed mainly of just 3 massive towers that reach up to the clouds. Essentially a city built inside 3 towers. Not a lot around them, just these 3 towers with multiple layers that have different businesses and housing, bars, any sort of establishment exists in here that you need. You all arrived here on the Copper's Cock, a boat in which you took to save Flynn from a curse that was rapidly aging him and going to kill him after 30 days. Luckily, you got that curse off after talking to some slimy man. In your time here, Flynn, you did lose your spell book in exchange for that spell to be lifted and you not dying. In the process, you bought a new spell book in a holster. You spent a day copying the spells you know down again, while Pharaoh and Bill went to go look for some work, so hopefully you can find a way back home, or something along those lines. In that process, you were given 2 outlets in which you might be able to find work from a bartender named Airzy that you had been staying in with the crew members of the Copper's Cock. One was to go meet a war master in a different tower. His name was Garrick. The other was to go talk to somebody you probably wouldn't want to talk to. You guys went with Garrick. You spoke to Garrick. He gave you the ideas of infiltrating into this capital city on the continent of Muthana. A place that none of them had been able to go, but with a distraction, hopefully, that you would be able to provide. He was hoping to sneak a group in that would go undercover inside of the city and hopefully get some information for the cities themselves. He did offer to pay 18,000 gold, so 6,000 gold to each of you. In the process of leaving that conversation, heading back to the main tower that you were in, a voice hit, I believe it was Bill's head, where a familiar Malun Bokia, the person that placed the curse on Flynn all those days ago, said that that War Master was not telling the truth. You decided to hear her out. You had quite a conversation at the end of the last campaign that lasted, I think, most of the session, where you discussed these 3 families that have essentially moved into this brand new continent, untouched by most of the realms that you all have existed in, and explained to you that there's something going on here. All of the planes of existence are somehow collapsing into this one point. There are portals essentially tying this Muthana continent to all the planes of reality, which is why there are so many oddities and unlikely cities just sprouting up out of nowhere, and the whole reason why a continent would be undiscovered up to this point. She said they're out for power, something called the Scaladorth, which you all knew was 7 pieces of a serpent dragon. Once collected, you could ask a wish. And they're afraid of something that is inside this capital of Muthana that is keeping everybody at bay. Malun Bokia does not want you to take this job. She wants you to sabotage it, or mainly she wants you to sabotage it. But with a disagreement with Pharaoh, those two not liking each other very much, she did end up offering the same 18,000 to do the opposite of what the War Master told you. But in turn, you would be working for her, and she said that you should probably talk to Flynn before we move on from that point. Which is what you guys were doing when we finished up. You found Flynn in H&H, the bar that Airzy runs, in a study, copying his spells down, unloaded this boatload of information, and you guys didn't know what to do next. You had discussed going with the War Master's plan, helping Malun Bokia, and sabotaging the plan, and it was tossed up to just ignore it. Let everything else happen, and you guys just proceed, work, and find a way out of Roxhold back to Yavin, where you started, and pick up your lives where you left them before that spell was cast on Flynn. Hopefully I covered enough to remind everybody of what we're doing, because that's a lot of information. And with that, we'll jump back in. The 3 of you are walking through H&H, middle of the night, after having this conversation with Flynn, heading to the bedchambers that you share with the crew of the Copper's Cock. What are y'all doing?
So Flynn, how are you feeling? I know that was a lot.
It's a lot to process. I don't really know what the right move to. I don't know what the right move is. I think I just need to sleep on it. Remind me, when is the job supposed to start?
I think it was like 3 days, DM. Is that right? Or am I just throwing out numbers?
The job that was presented from the War Master Garrig was, as soon as you start, there's going to be a crew following you. So it's ready for you to go whenever.
Mm-hmm.
They have the crew assembled. They need a distraction at the mountain range outside of the capital.
So we'll probably need to decide by tomorrow morning.
What are you two leaning towards? I've got a bias. It's not. I don't think it's allowing me to think clearly. What do you two want to do?
I mean, what I want to do is kill that lady, but she would beat me to it. But like we did talk about, getting closer to her helps us gather more information for you for once we are stronger.
In the grand scheme of things, it seems like the drow here are the real victims. I mean, all the jobs we've taken from the various guilds have been counter to what they want, and they were here first and had their entirety of their land taken away. I mean, Bokia is just awful, and I don't want to work for her, but this mission of hers seems more like stopping somebody else from getting something she wants rather than placing something in her hands. But then again, I mean, she didn't commit genocide on my entire people, so I'll never make you make that call.
I mean, Flynn, I think you're going to be the decision maker in this since obviously you're closer to Bulkia than we are.
Well, I handed over evidence to the council in Imon that implicates her. So hopefully, sooner or later, justice will be done. She doesn't know that. I don't think. And we do have the means to be helpful. I can speak with them now. I don't know. Maybe we do what she wants in a way that benefits us. Maybe I can finally be done with her.
I mean, we also can just go back home and do whatever we want.
Well, we're going to have to raise funds if we want a boat trip home, or we trek across the entire continent to get home.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Well, why don't we all just sleep on it for now? And then in the morning we'll reconvene.
So are we going to sleep?
I would like to meditate and try to tap into that shared consciousness, but I want to try to direct my thoughts to that conversation we had with the Moor Master to try to bring that into the shared consciousness.
Okay.
And I know it's like the second time I've tried this, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do.
Sure. So I'm going to have you go ahead and roll let's just do a straight wisdom as you sit down comfortably and meditate, trying to relay this information that you've received to the rest of this clan that exists in Yavin that gifted you powers, and this ties to this person called Kami. 16 is enough. As you're kind of sitting there, you understand the idea in this void as like you're just kind of floating in what seems to be stars. And from previous experience, that one time, all these stars are different events, and trying to navigate through them has shown tedious sometimes, and one time it worked out, but you didn't understand anything. You watch as the darkness filled with stars kind of becomes brighter in one spot, and you see there's like a new star in existence off in the distance, and you feel like that what you set out to do, tie this conversation into the massive shared consciousness of these people, is there, and it's set up.
After that, I go to bed.
Cool. You come to out of your meditative state about an hour or so later. You see Flynn and Pharaoh are both passed out, unless the two of you were doing something during that hour of meditation. And you all go to sleep. With the loud snoring of the crew of the Copper's Cock, kind of a uncomfortable orchestra, almost irritating sometimes. The patterns that they use, it's almost a consistent snore that just echoes in this room. You'll eventually find yourselves to sleep. And you wake up the next day, in which the bar is now bustling, opposed to just middle of the night empty. We'll jump to something else. Kind of hear the music coming through the doorway as all of you come to consciousness, and some sun begins to glare in through your something like 27th floor window of this tower. You do smell food cooking, radiating, almost filling the room like a cooking bacon in your house, and it's just everywhere. You smell fresh meats and produce. What are y'all doing? You just woke up. It seems as though the crew of the Copper's Cock is not in the room at the moment. Had an early start, you would guess.
I'm checking my armpit wrinkles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go up to a mirror to go check your armpit wrinkles that you noticed after unaging rapidly. They're still there. You don't understand what these armpit wrinkles are. They're exactly the same. They haven't changed.
We've got too many things to deal with right now. I'm gonna go have a breakfast ale.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Best way to start your morning.
Sounds like a plan.
So the three of you walk into H&H, the elegantly decorated bar on the higher floors of this tower. There you see the two children of the owner of the establishment, Airzy, both setting tables, bringing out ales and different breakfast items to patrons. You see, about the time that you woke up, this is more of the better dressed parts of society that are in here having like almost a brunch in some terms. Sometimes you've woken up early enough to see like miners and construction workers, things of those sorts in the mornings. But now it's more of that better dressed crowd. The three of you sit down. To your back is the large painting and memorabilia of an old adventuring troop right behind you. One of the children of Airzy comes over to you. Good morning. What'll it be?
Oh, can we have 3 ales, please? And meat? Just tons of meat all around?
You want ale and a plate of meat?
Yeah.
And eggs. I want some eggs.
Would you like the eggs on your meat or separate?
Ooh, both.
It'll be done. He kind of turns around, confused, a little bit curious. Breakfast order as he goes back. Moments later, the ales arrive, and then about half an hour later, your breakfast is served, which is just a plate filled with meat, and there's some eggs on it. And then there's a tiny little bowl of like little scrambled eggs that he sets in front of you, Flynn.
Good breakfast.
So, you all eat and drink early in the morning. What's the plan for the day?
Oh, well, I feel a lot less angry after a beer and some meat. So I'm a little more calm now. How you guys feeling? You good?
Concerned about my armpit wrinkles. And still don't really know what the best move is.
Yeah, we really don't have a clear path of which way we need to go.
What if we just don't take the job either and we go follow and just watch and observe? We get no money and we need money bad.
The problem is they were going to follow us to the edge of the capital.
Right, we'd have to wait for them to hire somebody else, then wait for them to go, and then wait for them to follow them, and then follow them. And just to see what would happen, to what end. Either watch them die or watch them succeed. Unless, of course, Belkia also finds someone to sabotage. It's a lot of moving parts. I don't like this game.
Can I take a look around to see if anybody's paying attention to our conversation?
Yeah. As you kind of glance around, make a perception check. You, with a natural 20, without a doubt, know that nobody is paying attention to your conversation. There's lots of talks of business going on. You hear a conversation about they need more fresh fish in this area. They're tired of eating all these cows. Why is there not more fresh fish? The ocean is just right there. How do we not have enough fresh fish? And then there's this really long dialogue between these two better off civilians of this city of Roxhold, where they're setting up a sort of fish trade, sort of system of pulleys and baskets in which if people fish from the ocean, get the fish and just throw them in the baskets, they could have the pulleys bring it to Roxhold. That's a continuous supply of fish. They would make so much platinum. And that's really what you pick up on.
So what if we go to the capital city, get in a fight with whatever guards we find, and just throw the fight? That way we could immediately tell them what's going on and who's behind us.
I mean, we don't get paid either way then, still.
Kia hired us to sabotage that plan.
So we pretend to take the job for the War Master, but we're really not taking the job for the War Master and taking the job for Volkia while trying to still get information for the War Master.
Screw the War Master.
For me, it's more of finding out who's right. I'm inclined to believe what Bokia told you to an extent. She's real crafty. She doesn't lie. She just keeps things from you. So in this situation, she might actually be the lesser evil, but we don't know. And I think both you two are concerned or curious about what's been going on. And honestly, the Drow have been pretty professional with us, save for the first attack. They might listen to reason if we do what Bill wants.
And even the first time they attacked us, it was just miscommunication because we couldn't understand. So even then, I mean, it was bad. There was a couple people that died, but not. They weren't that bad.
I don't think Bokia is a lesser of two evils. I think she's probably after the exact same thing the War Master's after. I mean, if she had access to get into the secret capital to get whatever this guy's after, she probably would.
I mean, if they're after the Scalador, we know for sure that nobody can fully put it together because we have a piece that nobody knows about besides us and Blub Blub locked away. So, I mean, technically nobody gets what they want unless we let them.
DM, just to backtrack a little bit, the first time I had that shared consciousness experience, I saw hands looked like the worth to the Drow.
I got like the
Or
last.
did I just see them hand over a bundle? So during the shared consciousness experience the first time, am I still coming through? Did I see what was being handed over to the Drow?
You saw a chest being transferred between the two. I believe it was Kimlik who was having the conversation with another person that I don't think you recognized. But a chest was being handed over, and the chest it resembled the one that you received that had this first line ghost in it, the Scaladorth. I mean, you could guess that that's what was in it. Unless there's just a mass production of that specific chest, and, you know, it could have been a box of fruit, and for some reason that was put into the shared consciousness that he gave somebody a box of fruit.
So what do you guys think we should do?
Real quick, is Ice Cream Man around?
Make a perception check. No, you take a pretty good look around. You don't see anything.
Okay. Makes me feel good.
You don't see this horrifying figure that's been haunting you and Bill. I think Flynn, I think you got a glimpse of him as well at some point, but I don't remember.
Maybe he hides in Flynn's armpit wrinkles. He's napping right now, and then he comes out of the
Ooh.
wrinkles. What if
He's
your
my-
wrinkles disappear when he's in our perception, like our peripherals?
He's my venom. He's a symbiote.
Oh yeah. Oh no! Oh no!
He's just
I
gonna
hate-
come out of my pits and be like, "Rah, rah, rah."
Don't like that.
I love it. I hope that's real.
Hold on real quick, let me make a note of that one.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think we should go with Volkia's plan. I think in the long run, even though she always is going to have missing information, we get more information from her in general and get closer to understanding her motives.
I'm more of just wanna. I like Bill's way of going about it. Maybe if we are honest, maybe we drop the name of, Listener. Do we know if he's at the Capitol? Do we know where he is?
You asking me or the party?
The party. And then if we're wrong, I'm hoping you chime in.
Wait, who?
Listener, the adventurer
Oh.
that joined their side 20 years ago, wrote us the note.
Okay, thank you. That took me a second. Let me go through my diligent notes real quick, and I'll let you know where he is.
I'll just I'll give you guys the information that you do know. You know that he works out of the Capitol. You don't know if he's there currently, but you do know that he works out of the Capitol. That information, I believe, was given to you by Kimlick at some point, because he mentioned who this person was. That was where you heard most of the story about how he used to work for the Ocean Guild like you did previous to this part of your adventure, and then just disappeared off the grid.
So, since we have a letter from him, could I use sending to send a message to him, since that's something that is familiar about him to me?
You could certainly try, yeah, go for it.
Well, what if I say I can send him a message, and we can see if he's there? Not sure if it'll work, since I've never actually met him.
I mean, yeah. If it works, that's simple, right? Is it too easy?
What should I say to him? Hey, are you at the Capitol? I'm Pharaoh. You've never met me.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one that's got limited words, right?
I believe it's, it's 25. No, 25, I could say 25 words.
Need to find a way to convey that we are the ones that he wrote a letter to during that one mission in that one place that I don't remember, but I'm sure I've got it written down here somewhere. We are here hired to do a job, but we don't want to do the job. We want to talk to you. That might sound like a trap. He's a smart man. There's no easy way to do this, Pharaoh.
Who did he write that? Did he write the letter to our group or one of us in particular?
It was after we delivered the chest, and there was a courier. Wanted to know where the piece is, I believe is what it was, and we lied. Sort of.
Okay, I got this. Alright, can someone count for me?
Okay, Pharaoh. So you clap your hands together and you see both of your hands kind of light up with this golden energy as you release them out into a spot. There's a little orb that is floating in between both of your hands that you know is like a microphone, in essence, recording your voice for 25 words. What do you say?
You gave us letter. Galadorf.
Is Skaldor with one word or two? Or three?
It's technically 3 words.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
We doobies. Bad things happening soon. You at Capitol? I'm Pharaoh. With Flynn and Bill. See you. Later. Nailed it.
And with a very uncomfortable pacing for the sending spell, it's sent out into the ether. You're hoping to hit the person that wrote you a letter.
Well, if he gets it, he has to reply to that. It would be rude not to. So if he doesn't get it and doesn't reply, then we know it didn't work.
It's the only explanation.
Only one.
You wait a moment. Have an egg off of a pile of meat. And a voice comes to your head. Oh, hello! It's me! Listener! If you can get to the capital, just tell them. We'll meet up and have a chit-chat. Bye-bye.
Alright, so he's there. He seemed very nice. So we want to have a chit-chat. Just come on by. He makes me think of my grandma.
That's a trap, right, Bill?
Probably. But I think setting out a trap like that with good intentions would probably be the best way to set off a trap.
Oh, should I have told him about the trap?
How long does it take us to get to the capital? Like a week or so? I mean, we could send him more messages if we need to.
I mean, I can send one more today.
That's up to you.
I would say if we're going to the capital,
We got time.
if we're going to the capital to warn him, why don't we send him a message when we know we're a specific frame away from whoever's following us trying to sneak into the capital? So we could say specifically, in 3 days, these guys try to sneak in, and we're supposed to set a diversion for it.
So are we going to tell the War Master and Bulkio we're taking the job? Or either way, and then we'll just see what we decide when we get there.
Yeah. I guess I gotta go sign the contract, though.
Do we have to sign a contract with Bulkio? She wasn't quite as official, right?
I mean, she wanted to have you discuss it with Flynn, and then come back with your response. And if you wanted to get paid for this job, you would have to be employees of hers, at least for this job. So you'll probably sign a contract or something like that.
We definitely need to read the contracts we sign, because what if it's like, oh, if you fail, I get to kill you. So.
Yeah, if she wanted me dead, I could have been dead already.
She tried.
Sort of. She definitely could have done something a little bit more instant. This is probably more to teach me a lesson or something stupid.
You gonna be able to stand in front of her again and sign a contract to work for her?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I see pieces of shit all the time walking around the street, you know, from dogs and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. You just gotta hold your breath a little.
I mean, maybe we can try and not sign a contract with her at all, so there's no word bindings. And I can just send her a message and be like, hey, we're in. No, we have to go talk to her. Spilled wine all over me. I hate that lady.
So, with a game plan set, what's your first step? Do you go to the War Master and get Flynn to sign his part of the contract that the two of you had already signed previously, or do you go see Bokia and get that done?
I mean, Bokia's in this building on the top floor, right? So, just
Oh, yeah.
shorter.
Alright, to go see the Wicked Witch.
Are you all taking the stairs or the elevator placed outside of the tower?
I am way too fat. I'm taking the elevator.
Remember, it's only 1 gold. He ripped us off last time. 1 gold for all.
That's all I got. I can't pay.
With that, you all head downstairs, walking down the 27-ish flights of stairs to the bottom of this tower to go to the elevator that's on the outside. And there you see a young elven man standing at the base next to this metal and wood contraption, held together by a rope that ascends up into nothingness as it leaves your line of sight. Welcome back. Where are we going today?
Back to the top.
1 gold piece this time.
Thank you.
I'll hand it over.
You all pile into the elevator that will take you up top and begin ascending for what takes just a couple minutes as you watch the people on the ground. The buildings get smaller and smaller as they leave line of sight as you go into the clouds, and you finally hit the top, in which you are greeted by that same runic carving on a door that the two of you saw last time. Flynn, first time for you seeing it. Same symbol as the academy. And there you are.
I will give the elevator guy a gold tip. 1 gold, so he gets 2. It's tip.
Okay. He nods, takes the tip. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And y'all are at the door. Do you walk in?
Yeah.
Okay. Walking in, Flynn kind of opens the door and just leads the way into the chamber, the familiar office chambers of Malun Bokia. You see the tall, slender woman wearing the long, dark robes, black hair. Give a nod. Pharaoh, you notice immediately that the decanter of wine that you tried to take is back on the table and full again. Welcome. Flynn, good to see you again. You're looking better these days.
Good morning.
Well, wine, anyone? As you see, she takes one side of the robe, kind of tosses it over, and sits down on the arrangement of seats around the center table.
I see you have another decanter that looks very similar to the one you gifted me.
It's the same one.
Oh, okay. Makes more sense. I will take some wine.
Very well.
Thank you. Please.
Once again, kind of
Thank you.
an unusual sight as she manually pours wine instead of using all this magical power to do things for her. She pours all of you a glass of wine and herself and sits back. So, what have you decided on?
We want to know more about what's going on with them in the capital. We want to speak with Lysanar, if we can. So we'll do what we can to work against the War Master.
Very well. And would you like to be paid for this? Or are you just letting me know your intentions?
What exactly would you have us do in order to be paid?
I just need you to sabotage the efforts from that War Master. As long as those spies, infiltrators, whatever you want to call them, don't make it into that capital, our deal is upheld. What you do from there on out is up to you.
Then yes, at least them. They at least need to be paid.
Works for me. You see she kind of waves a hand, snaps, and this kind of just like packet of documents just fills up on the table. So that's everything you'll need to sign to work for me specifically. If you want, I can, kind of like if you're buying a house, just flip you through some pages and you just sign on the where the arrow is.
Now we'll read this.
Very well. Plenty of wine. She just kind of sits back, arms up, holding a glass of wine, taking a drink, and waiting for you all to sign this massive contract.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Start
sit
flipping
with my
through the
wine.
contract.
I'm having this is a lazy Sunday. Just reading every little detail. Ooh. And also, I'm gonna ritual cast, I don't know. I want to be looking for any weird, runes on the paper, anything funky. I might even do a ritual casting of detect magic, just cause.
I can
See
help
if there's
you.
any weird shite coming out of the paper.
Okay. Are you ritual casting detect magic?
Yeah, I'll. Do you mind if I do a little detect magic spell, just to make sure
Feel free.
everything's up front?
Yes.
I will do that.
Okay. You spend some time ritual casting detect magic on this stack of papers. And it turns out that they are just a stack of papers. Detect magic does pick up on pretty much everything else that's in this room. Like, this whole place is magic. But the papers are definitely not.
Hell yeah.
Well, you spend the better part of the next 2 hours reading through about 120 pages of contract. Most of it is filler. Like, it is placed there and you almost feel like it was intentionally there to annoy you. Just pages. There's like a whole chapter about the history of Bokia's Academy and how it started and their humble upbringing and things like that, like a little PR piece in the middle of this contract to get you to understand who your employer is and feel comfortable knowing you're making the right decision. Nothing stands out as weird. There's no like loopholes. It's very plain stated that you're not going to get paid if these infiltration efforts are not stopped. That's really the extent of it. And a full 18,000 gold pieces is due upon completion, immediately after these infiltrators are dealt with. And you flip to the last page. Down at the bottom, it has Maloon Bokia signature written in giant cursive font across the bottom, and then 3 little lines above it for the 3 of you to sign.
When I read dealt with, I'll say, now for dealt with, if we are able to keep them away and not kill them, does that count?
That is dealt with.
And it's
There.
not like, if we fail, you're going to kill us.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, why would you?
I have no reason. What, do you not trust me?
Yeah, it was just besties here. All besties, okay?
To be fair, I'm just offering you a whole lot of gold to deal with some people trying to infiltrate a city that I know nothing about. That's all I need.
I sign.
Okay. You sign full name or just your first name?
Full name. And the initials are so large.
Okay. And then Pharaoh and Bill, you two are left to sign. Do you sign?
I'll sign.
I was gonna do the same thing as Flynn, is I want my signature to be bigger than Bulkia's on there as well, so.
With the space remaining on the page, impossible.
I will write over her signature if I need to. It's still signed legally there, so.
Okay. So you take the massive, like, quill, giant dark black feather off the end of it. Pretty much like as big as Flynn, it seems like, when he's signing his name, and then Pharaoh, you take it, and Bill, you take it. Both of you sign obnoxious signatures onto a contract with Maloon Bokia. Once you sign the paper, she sets the wine down and gives like a little clap. Well, I'm excited for this partnership. I have full faith in all of you. I do have your payment ready, and it will be delivered as soon as I know that the contract is complete. Good luck. To celebrate, would you like a fancier wine? I have a few.
A couple would be nice.
I'll open one. As she stands up, kind of tosses the robes behind her and moves in the direction of a cupboard that she opens. You see her for a while, like, kind of skimming all the bottles. Oh, yes, of course. She pulls out, like, this metal framed bottle. You see the glass inside is framed by this, like, weaving of metal. It's a dark, like, black iron. As she opens the cork and pours it into fresh glasses. Be careful with this one. It is strong, but it is delicious. And she holds her glass out for a toast. And you all toast. To new beginnings. And you see her take a small sip of the wine and kind of like recoil from it. Whew. Do you all take a drink of this
I'll
wine?
take just a sip as well.
Yeah, I'm drinking it.
Brainwashing wine.
Okay. All of you take a drink. It is very powerful. Like, it's super strong. Just like, there's not a strong smell, like, permeating out of the glass like you would expect from a strong wine. This one, not transparent at all. You can almost see no color. Like, it's dense and almost to a black, especially in the lighting in this room. As you take a sip, it's like a heavy dessert just fell into your mouth in liquid form, like a dark, dense cake of chocolate and caramel, these almond flavors. And then you swallow it, and you feel it burn all the way down as it hits your stomach, and you just start sweating.
It's like a port wine and prairie fire all put together.
Yeah. Kind of in that ballpark, yeah. You all drink your super fancy glass of wine. By the end of it, you are spinning a little bit. The room is kind of turning. She sets her glass down. Well, that was fun. If you don't mind, I think I'm going to take a nap for maybe the rest of the day.
I would like to drink all the water in my water skin. And once I do that, I would like to walk over to the decanter and just fill my water skin with all of the wine in the decanter, or as much as it can hold. And be like, have a good nap. And then I'll just walk out with my water skin. I don't know if anyone's following me.
Yeah, you pour a bunch of wine into your water skin. You now have no water for your journey going forward, but you have a baggie of wine. You got a Boda box in your pack. As you all head out, unless there's something else any of you want to say.
Nope. Flynn was damn near quiet the whole time. If he didn't speak unless spoken to, and it was very brief, short sentences.
Righto. So, all of you get back on the elevator. The young elven man is still standing there. To the ground floor, then.
Pharaoh, check to see if that wine's still in there.
Can't hear you, Sam.
Oh crap, I'm gonna be so mad if that's all gone. And I try to take a drink out of my water skin as we're going down the elevator.
You take a drink, and you are greeted with the taste of the first wine that you drank in this room. So you have water skin of wine.
Oh, that's great. Yep, it's wine still. I'm gonna need another water skin though.
Nice.
I guess in this building there is a general goods store, so we can probably get one there, right?
Yeah, there's one in this building.
I can also create water and good berries for as much as we need on our trip.
Oh, that's great to know. So we heading to the War Master now and telling him we're taking his job.
Yeah. I still got a sign. You two say you got yourself some berets made as well. When are they supposed to be done?
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. She said it'd be a few days, didn't she?
Yeah, she said by the end of the week that those would be ready, but you don't have the money for them currently, I don't believe.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do one of these jobs and then come get the barats.
To the War Master.
I mean, should we wait a little bit before we go over to him in this condition?
Well, by the time we get down and over and then back up, that's gonna be at least 30 minutes, right?
I mean, we should definitely take the stairs.
Hold your breath for 20 seconds.
I would like to try to buy some food if we like some sort of food stall for the workers between the towers.
Sure, yeah, I mean, there are plenty of opportunities to buy kind of like cart food that's out there. As you guys all hit the ground, you see that it's around like a break for most of the mine and cave workers that are around here, as they're all out and the food stand lines they're hopping at the moment. Do you wait in line for one, or do you try to find one with the shortest line?
Yeah, let's just find the one with the shortest line.
Okay. Make a perception check for me real quick. Yeah, you see one that is actually at the moment vacant, as you kind of like quickly hurry over there before any of the workers notice, hop in line. You are greeted by an older dwarf male, bald on top, super long beard, goes to like the waist. It's looped in with the rest of his clothing, like tied to his belt. Hey, want some food?
Yes, what's on the menu for today?
Well, we got this kind of fish stew and, livers, fish splint sandwich, scale sandwich, intestine sandwich, eye sandwich, anything like that.
Well, that sounds lovely. I will get back to you, and I just walk straight away from that.
You turn around and walk away, realizing why there was no line at this specific vendor.
Blub would have loved that place.
Oh, he would have tore that up.
So you hop into another line and get a more regular meal. Starches and meats, most of which are presented in these small stone bowls that you have to return. Most of which are like a stew-based meal. Some of them are dry if you prefer that. But you, for each meal, spend about 5 silver.
I'll grab some for all of us.
Okay, so that's we'll say a gold and a half.
I'll down the stew, and we'll head towards the tower.
Right on, yeah. With some more food after your meat and egg breakfast, and then having a meat and starch stew. You guys are feeling pretty full. Sobering up a little bit as you make it to the next tower. believe this was the one with the hammer on it, or the eye? It was something.
I think
It
I've
was
got
the
a hammer.
Yeah, it was the hammer on the 38th floor.
Yeah, I got the 38th floor. I just didn't put down which tower it was in. So you walk to the tower with the hammer on it. And you walk up 38 flights of stairs. And by the time you get to that 38th floor, completely sober. Sweating, a little bit winded, but you make it. And once again are greeted with the open chamber of the room. All these desks kind of lined up throughout. You see people working on different maps, sketching, essentially filing paperwork on one side of the room, and then the other side of the room, you see a lot of maintaining of armor and inspection of blades, weapons, swords, bows, all of that stuff. People working quickly and efficiently on making sure all of these things are up to standard. And in the back of the room, you see the massive man, Garrig, who you spoke to before. Balding, scarred face. No beard. Just a normal looking dude. A little bit older and battle worn.
Hi, go back. We brought a friend.
Hey. So I take it you're the other guy that needed to sign this? And then you see him kind of dig through some files and pull out that paper.
Ah, yes. That's why we are here.
Yeah, so have you signed there? That'll tie you to us for completing this job. Once again, 18,000 gold piece on completion. Once you return and the job is good to go, you'll receive your payment. Yeah, my troop's ready to go. So whenever you guys are ready, just give me a heads up. Or if you have a time you want to set right now, so I know when to send them.
What do you two think? Maybe first thing in the morning?
Yeah, I think that works.
That
First thing
sounds
in the
good.
morning.
Right on. I'll send them a couple hours after you. Just keep pace. Try not to get distracted. Go off in different ways, because they're going to be relying on you.
Do we have a map? Or do we need to get a map?
You guys have a map. The map that you guys see right now, that's like halfway on stream. You guys see that.
Okay.
So you know kind of the direction. Well, there's nothing else. Good luck. See you when you get back.
Thank you, Garrig.
Alright.
And you all leave, walking down 38 flights of stairs.
Ugh.
Flynn's just looking at Bill the whole time.
I'm red-faced and breathing heavy. These stairs suck.
You eventually make it to the bottom. What are you guys doing? Do you have anything that you want to prepare for the next morning with? Anything you need to get, obtain? I know funds are a little bit short, but anything you want to prepare?
I do want to go buy another water skin. I mean, I know Bill can create and destroy water, but just to save him from having to do that anytime I want to drink water.
I'm contemplating seeing if I could trade a greater healing potion for a few basic healing potions, because a basic healing potion will pretty much heal me straight up with my 12 HP.
I have 3 basic healing potions, so if you need some, I can give you those.
Who's got the most HP?
I have a pretty large HP pool I could use.
47 total, normally.
So I think one of you should have the greater, and then I could take a couple of basics. Because a basic will do a lot more for me than it will for you.
Pharaoh, why don't you take the greater, And I'll hand over a basic to Flynn as well.
Yeah, I'll just give you, Flynn, all 3 of my basic healing potions also.
Okay, so you guys managing inventory in the middle of the street between all the towers. Exchange some potions.
We're walking and talking.
Farrah, you do find a place that sells simple adventuring gear, and one of the things they have there is a water skin. And it looks like it's currently running for 1 gold piece.
Perfect. That's all I need.
You make the exchange, and now you have a secondary empty water skin. You have a wine skin and an empty water skin.
I'll have you fill this up, Bill, when we get back, probably. I'm gonna drink some more of this wine, because I have a major headache and need to get rid of it.
That's our cleric.
Alcoholism at its finest.
Well, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
A little bit of, hair of the pixie. That's all you need.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
That's what Noob told me it's called.
Anything else?
So what is it, midday?
Yeah, so... Yeah, it was afternoon time, so you're probably getting to like the 2, 3 o'clock region after walking all those stairs, signing paperwork. Still got quite a bit of day left if there's anything you wish to accomplish before we set off outside of Roxhold. Because I am ready to get out of the city. We have been here for so many hours of D&D.
I know. So he said they're only going to be a couple hours behind us. We told them we were leaving first thing in the morning. Should we go now? To get a half a day at least?
I mean, aren't they following our tracks also? He said, like, don't lag behind because they're following you. Or did he just mean don't lag behind, like they catch up to us?
I don't know. I feel like a couple of hours isn't enough time to really give them enough time to prepare.
I sure hope they're not on horses, otherwise they will beat us. And we don't have horses here.
No, we do not. We need to get back home. I don't know. Kind of ready to get out. And I think the more time we put between us and them, the better.
Oh, Bill, can you turn into a horse?
For a little while.
I mean, that helps us make some more distance.
If we leave now, there'll be more distance. And we can go camping.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's leave.
We can scope it out a little bit beforehand, maybe talk to Lisa and all. Like, yeah. Let's just go get our stuff. Maybe tell the Copper's Cock crew we're gonna be gone for about a couple weeks.
I don't know if they're waiting on us.
Well, I mean, they still have like 3 weeks or a month, I think, to like fix up the boat.
Well, either way, I'm just ready to go. Make sure I've got enough rations. Well, you got the good berries, so that's fine. We'll be fine. I'm just ready to move. You know, I've been old for a month. Ready to go. I mean, look at this. And I do a squat. No pops.
Nice.
Well, yeah, we'll just go back to our place, get our stuff. I might order some cured meat while we're at Airzy's bar, so I can have some pocket bacon for the trip.
Okay, yeah. So you make the 27 flights up, walk to H&H, where you guys gather your belongings. You see Airzy is setting up the bar for the evening crew. As you go up with all of your equipment, tell them that you're heading out and want some pocket meats. Oh, well, I'll miss all of you. I can let the rest of the crew know whenever they get back. Do you want them to wait on you? What? What are we doing here?
I mean, it'd be nice, since I know they still need to fix up the ship for a while, but I bet we can find passage back other ways if needed.
Very well. I will let them know that if you're not back in 2.5 weeks, that they can go ahead and leave. As he pulls out from under a bunch of like dried meats, you see an assortment of like different flavors and seasonings, all individually wrapped in like these small parchment papers tied together by twine, and he just kind of hands the bundle over. Well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. Till next time. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for all your assistance. Going to shake his hand.
He leans over, reaches over the bar, and shakes your hand. And with that, the three of you walk down another 27 flights of stairs. You guys' calves are going to look so good. Walk down this flight of stairs out of the tower and leave the city of Roxhold. Before we start hitting the road in open terrain, you do know that you are surrounded by a mountain range in this area. Are you going to try and acquire like a boat up the river that you took to get here? To get you to more like flatlands, or are you just walking through some mountains?
Did he give us any type of path to go?
Pretty much just go. He said they'll follow. They know where you're going, and you know where you're going, so he's kind of under the assumption that this crew will find your tracks and know how to follow you.
Flynn's just in the mood to walk, honestly. Unless you two really want a boat, I'm good with walking.
Yeah, that works for me. I mean, if they're gonna need to see our tracks, they won't be able to, you know, see it from a boat. So walking.
Yeah, we start walking out.
And with that, you all head out of Roxhold. Walking through dense forest for the first little bit until you hit the clearing where the mountain range starts. Not the biggest mountain range, you can tell by the map, and your experience floating down the river to this city. You know, it's not massive. It might take a day for you to cross the entire thing. But you begin your journey. That's where we're going to take our first break, because I need some coffee. So, stream. We'll be back in like 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe earlier. I don't know. Depends on how long we take. Just have fun looking at...
First round, she was paralyzed.
Game over.
Hey, we're back on the internet.
Oh. Hi.
Right on!
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I love it and it makes me so happy. I'll do a cartwheel or something after the stream. But anyways, we're back in D&D. So, the three of you are walking through this mountain range. A rocky, not super fun path to traverse, but you're making progress. As you kind of hit the end of the day, the sun is beginning to set. Those oranges and purples are kind of radiating. You can see the ocean from your view on top of the mountains. Awesome visual that you all are looking out to, and kind of pause for a second and take it in. Since you have been in like what is essentially a dead city just stone pillars erupting from the ground and dirt and rock, since it's such a heavy mining community. But the three of you make it to this peak, have a little moment, look out, and continue your trek downward. As the sun sets and dark hits, and I believe two of you can see. Flynn, you can't see in the dark, right?
All right, hold my hand.
I'll go ahead and
Flynn.
cast.
Hold my hand, Flynn.
I can cast Dark Vision on him.
Okay.
Either that or wait, is that a cantrip or a? Because if it's a spell, don't worry.
It's a leveled spell.
I got Dancing Lights cantrip. I can just plop up when it gets dark. I'll just do that.
I mean, that attracts predators, though, maybe.
Okay.
So Bill, as you're reaching over to cast Dark Vision, Flynn, realizing that he's starting to not be able to see, just kind of snaps his fingers, and those globules of light begin to float around you. Are you keeping them pretty close to you, or are you, like, stretching them out, giving you a big radius of light?
I'll do, like, 15 feet. Dim-ish, not, like, super bright, but just enough to where I can see. I don't fall into any puddles and drown.
I love it. And you can see pretty well, as it is now nighttime. You guys traverse a little bit longer until you find a place to set up camp on a little bit more level ground. It doesn't quite dive back into forest on the other side of these mountains. You're noticing the rocks are becoming more and more fine. Almost turning into like a gravel at the moment. You do see a handful of plants kind of off in the distance. I would say, Bill, you would probably be the only one that, like, with the accompanying of the light and your just general perception, notice that you're starting to see more desert-style plants. Seems like you're moving into a warmer climate, something that might be a little bit rougher to traverse. But as of now, you feel like this might be the best spot to set up camp, unless you guys feel like walking through the night and getting more distance.
I mean, I think this will be good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Need to be rested.
Okay, you set up camp in the gravel. Not the most comfortable, but also not the least comfortable spot. You could just be sleeping on boulders. Anybody want to take watch? Anything special you're doing before a new day?
I would like to make it a ritual on this trip anyway, of looking at the map and pushing that memory out into the shared consciousness to try to give, I don't know, whatever advantage we can to the people at the capital.
Okay. You're trying to put the map, or what is it you're trying to put into the consciousness?
I'm trying to update of how far out we are. I mean, I knew we'd seen the exchange of that chest earlier. I want them to have sort of a countdown of when we'll make it to the capital.
Okay. In what way would you do that?
So I will stare at the map and kind of mark our progress as we leave Roxhold heading towards the capital city. And that'll be the memory of me looking at the map with the marks getting closer and closer.
Okay. Make a wisdom check. Okay, once again, you kind of descend into that floating stars of nothing as your surroundings disappear. Flynn and Pharaoh, doing whatever they're doing, vanishes from audible, visual. You're just floating in this nothing as you enter this meditative state. You do not see another blip star showing up. In this, though, with a 13, you get this idea idea that these memories and things that you're trying to share with the ether seems a little bit more accepting of like conversations, things that are physically happening. You get an idea that like it's probably more difficult to look at something and kind of like draw and just put a picture in essence into this void, this shared consciousness, opposed to an actual experience that you're having. Take that as you will. You come back out. Flynn and Pharaoh are finishing up their rations for the evening, settling in. Flynn, Pharaoh, anything you all are doing?
I mean, if we're taking watch, I could put up a glyph of warding, but it only lasts for about an hour, just in case. Maybe during my watch.
Are you asking them if you can do that, or are you just telling me that you can do that?
I'm asking them if like they want it up or not.
What does that do?
I can do a few things. I can either store a certain spell in the glyph, so in case like an intruder comes through it, or I can make an explosive thing happen, but that would also explode us too, so not going to do that one.
No, if it helps.
Okay, I'll put it up probably if you're watch, Flynn, for the first hour of your watch if you want, so that way you can't see as well. Have a little extra protection.
Yeah.
So I am putting up, I know it's a long one, but it is a spell glyph. So basically I can store a spell in it, and it will attack any intruder, and I will use my elemental weapon with thunder, since the thunder will also make noise and wake me and Bill up as well.
Okay. So you store that spell, set it on the ground. I believe if this text wasn't 5,000 pages long,
I had to go to D&D and Beyond and double check.
you need to mark off 200 gold pieces.
Oh, crap! I forgot to read that. Never mind. I just I can maybe put up like a tiny one. It'd be like a thumb, like little thimble size. Probably not worth it. You just hear a little thunder go. "Meow." So, good luck, Glenn. Cheerio.
So Pharaoh hunkers over to cast a spell that takes an hour and realizes you guys are short on cash. And just kind of draws with a stick in the dirt and then goes back and tells you that it's not there. Glenn, you're first on watch. Make a perception check for me.
Is it disadvantage?
Are you keeping dancing lights up?
I'm keeping it up kind of around the camp. I still won't be able to see, really far.
Sure, yeah, so it'll just be a straight roll, but I mean, your perception in general is limited by how far you can see. Yeah. You glance around. You do hear some movement kind of in the trees around you. Oh, not trees, just in the gravel. As there is no plant life on this side at the moment. You hear like the shifting of rocks sliding down. Nothing that sounds massive by any means, just like small shifting, like when you step on a hill that's covered in gravel and the rest of it kind of shifts down. It's just that noise, but not a whole lot of it. Towards the end of your watch, at the edge of your visual range, with you casting this dancing lights over and over again, just keeping it up, giving you some visual, as you're just kind of like sitting back, panning left to right. there's a silhouette of a figure right on the edge of your dancing lights, just standing at the edge of it. You see, like, from the waist down, these kind of long, tattered robes that are just standing there. These long, extended arms that are kind of like, let's say, like gorilla style, where they're, like, on the ground, but this figure's standing up tall, so the hands are kind of pressed like this in the gravel on the ground. And it catches you off guard. You look at it, and then once you blink, it's just gone. There's nothing there. And right as that's kind of concluding, whoever's taking second watch begins to kind of stir and get up.
I can take second watch.
I'm gonna notice them start to get up, and I'm just gonna look back in that direction and think about the melty wizard and be like, can we communicate mentally? Are we still connected in some way?
And silence fills the air. You don't get a response from trying to reach out this way, as Bill stumbles up and kind of, I got this, breaks your train of thought, as you don't get a response from that.
Go to sleep.
So you go to sleep. Bill, you are on watch. Give me a perception check. Not picking up a whole lot. Kind of just distracted. Outside of city for you is, you know, something you get lost in. Just enjoying being outside, looking up at the stars. Just enjoying not being in a cluttered, snore-filled room with a bunch of ship crewmen. And as you're just kind of lost there, you feel something on your leg. As you look down, there's a long, like, just elongated fingers, hand kind of like lands on your shin. And as you look where it's attached to, there's this hairless, like, melting plastic-looking face kind of emerging from the gravel and just lets out a no. And as you jump backwards and kind of startle back, it's gone. There's nothing there. You've just kicked up a bunch of gravel. It kind of disturbs Pharaoh and Flynn as they wake up a little bit.
The hell was that?
What?
I was just sitting here and this thing grabbed my leg and disappeared. Its face was all melty and like it was coming out of the gravel.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm still asleep. This is all a dream.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna have to deal with this at some point. Sorry.
Look at your wrinkles. Oh, here, let me see. You still got your wrinkles.
I take off my blouse.
Flynn takes off his shirt in the middle of the night to have you look at his wrinkles on his armpit. They're still there. Unchanged.
Hold on, let me touch him. I'm gonna touch him. Ice cream man. Can you help me?
No response.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, one problem at a time, yeah?
Yeah. Is it my turn for watch?
Yeah, this is kind of weird.
Alright, I gotcha.
Pharaoh, give me a perception check.
I see all.
You are so absolutely terrified with that one. As everybody else is asleep, you're just kind of jumping at nothing over and over again. The sun begins to rise. Then you jump at another noise, and as you glance over, sitting right in between Bill and Flynn is that elongated, hairless man with these limbs that are just kind of like stretching out unnaturally as he begins to stand up. And you see him just kind of let out this moan, almost like a... as his hands reach into like the center and pull out these stone pieces. These like the serpent body, all of these different serpent heads that you would recognize as the Line Ghost as he's pulling them out. And then as he lets out one final as it escalates and like shouts in your direction, you just see him vanish. And the rest of your companions are now waking up.
The frick?
What?
Look.
Egg?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Look! 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 How many of these Scaladorth pieces are there?
As you're walking over and trying to have them look at these pieces that were falling, there's nothing there.
How many do I remember how many he dropped? I do like
You saw like a solid handful. You saw the body, which you haven't seen before, and then like these heads that were kind of like still coming out from his torso position. Maybe 5, 6, something like that.
Okay, so you guys didn't see that just now while waking up. Ice Cream Man was here again, in the middle of you two, and he was like bubbling out like a gross melty skin geyser, and he dropped like a whole bunch of the Scaladorth pieces, and then poof, poof, gone.
Yeah. As he mentioned something like this, he said that some of the other people that went to go see him continued to see him. It's a little problematic.
So he's tied into this somehow, which is very unsettling.
Or it could just be mostly subconscious. If he can get into our heads.
Yeah, because on a normal subconscious basis, I'm not seeing skin geysers.
We might just have to find or do some sort of research. Unless we think we can just go back and kill him. But
Kind of on the way to the capital, isn't he? Like where he lived? Because isn't he like the little purple circle on the map?
No, that is where you all were heading for the diversion that was marked by Garrig on your map. He was to the east of Roxhold.
Okay. Well, maybe we need to pay him a visit and be like, hey man, like, what you want? You got a book.
we'll see. Who knows? Maybe if we are granted an audience with Lason, maybe he knows something about it. say as long as he's not, you know, hurting us or causing one of us to hurt each other. Right now, it's just a real big annoyance.
As you all are having this conversation, you begin to hear the grumbling of thunder as the storm is moving overhead. Kind of towards the backside of you from where you were coming, but rain begins to fall. You begin to see streaks of lightning crashing down on the other side of the mountain range, but you are still kind of caught in just the overhang part of the storm, the rain at the moment. As you all are packing up camp and discussing this melty, hairless man.
Good berries or rations?
Pocket bacon. Anybody want pocket bacon?
Sure, have a piece.
Hand out some pocket bacon then. You know, Bill, some of these trees would make great materials for doors. Very unique trees.
You'd think, but the wood is a little bit sturdier if it has more moisture in it. Like the logs we pull out of lakes and stuff. But I don't want to talk your ear off all day about building doors.
I like to think once we start walking, and that's exactly what you do anyway.
Yeah, I'll immediately go back into talking about doors.
So you guys begin to press on after your dried meats and breakfast, and Bill just starts picking up where he left off, talking about doors. As the first hour or so of your travels are filled with door talk. You do progress deeper into this open area of the continent, away from the mountain ranges, away from the forest and trees, and you are greeted with finer, small bits of rock, as you have now entered into the desert of Muthana. The rain begins to dry. You see it almost evaporate immediately as it hits the sands, and the sky begins to clear, in which you are greeted with a super humid and sweltering hot travel for the rest of the day.
When I see them looking a little tired, I'll go ahead and transform into a riding horse.
Yeah. So getting a couple hours into the desert itself, the winds are picking up, little bits of sand are blowing on you, and the combination of you being wet is now like all of the sand is just sticking to you and getting into the folds of your armor and clothing, not making it super comfortable. Bill turns into a horse, and the two of you can hop on.
It gets everywhere.
Of course.
All right, horse times. I've taken off my jacket. I've swooshed the sand off as best I could, put it in my bag.
Okay.
Bill, do you like sugar cubes when you're a horse? I'll pull out a sugar cube to see if he wants one.
I guess I go ahead and eat the sugar cube.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Not sure if it offends you or not.
So you go ahead and eat a sugar cube. It tastes like a sugar cube. It's just sugar. So.
But does it taste better as a horse than it would for normal Bill, though?
Bill knows the taste of sugar pretty well, so no. It just kind of tastes like a block of sugar, and it's not the best thing when you're in the middle of a desert.
I'm just gonna go, oh, good to know you like sugar cubes as a horse. You want more, let me know.
So you all travel on. Bill, having extreme dry mouth from a sugar cube in the desert, carries the two of you, expediting your travel a bit. You do make it farther than you would until, what, can you do 2 hours now in animal shape, or is it an hour?
Yeah, you do 2 hours, but I have 2 wild shapes I can use at a time.
Okay, so you get to the end of that 2 hour mark. Or are you going to use that second one to keep your speed up?
Yep.
Okay. You keep your speed up. You guys are making a lot of ground. Let me look at something here. And with that... let's say I'll roll a d4 for this. Arrow. You hear as there's an arrow flying directly at you. 18 to hit. I doubt that hits you.
It doesn't. It was really close.
As you kind of glance over and see this arrow flying through the air, it crashes into your armor and just shatters into pieces. As you look over in that direction, you see that there are 2 goblins up on a rock, just kind of launching a barrage of arrows in your direction. There may be like 60, 70 feet off the path that you're heading.
Oh, so they're kind of far. Well, guess we're going goblin killing. Goblins.
Yeah, if I haven't, I'm going to revert back to my Bill form.
Okay. So you shift back out of your second wild shape, out of a horse, and the 3 of you are just kind of like now in a pile, 60 feet away from these goblins, as Bill just turns into Bill with the 2 of you on him. You all get up, and what's your next plan of attack? As 2 more arrows come flying, Flynn and Pharaoh. Flynn, you'll be the first one. I think a crit hits you, Flynn.
Well, it was a good run. I made it to level 5. I made it to level 5.
You take 10 piercing damage as you're getting up from laying on Bill, and this arrow just right into the chest sinks in as you cough up some blood and are now holding this crude arrow. I'm going to assume a 10 doesn't hit you, Pharaoh.
No.
Yeah, this one lands right into the sand in front of you.
I would like to immediately step in front of Flynn, and I'll go ahead and cast Call Lightning on those goblins.
Okay. Let me get the map set up.
I'm afraid you guys. I'm sorry. Just go without me.
A lot of freaking goblins. We have what, like 11 hit points? So you're good, Flynn. You got 1.
I got 2. First of
Ooh.
all, don't worry about me.
And with that, oh yeah, I gotta switch to flat, so we have visual on some map here. Then change this. So I'm gonna have everybody roll initiative real quick, like, and then Bill will get your action here first. Alrighty. Before initiative starts, Bill, you are calling lightning as a reaction before this really jumps into it. Where are you placing it?
Which were the ones that were shooting at us? I'm gonna zap that guy.
Zap him. Was that one a dex saving throw, I believe?
Yep, DC 14.
Natural 20. Takes 6 lightning damage. And he is still up. And then with that reaction, now it goes to your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll go ahead and just zap him again with the same casting.
Yeah. You bring down this arc of lightning once again, almost branching from the storm that's way behind you at this point. You see it kind of like trailing across the sky and then smash down on this rock with a as this dude is evaporated. He's turned into a pile of ashy goodness after being struck with that second lightning strike. Anything else for you, Bill?
No, that'll be it.
It goes to the ye ol' boss, who is going to find it. Move up here. He is still like a bit of a ways away from you all, as you're a little bit farther off this map than where you're at. But he is going to... move here behind this rock and hide as he scampers over this way. That ends him. Next is the goblins in the back that you guys don't see at the moment, but they're not doing anything. Glenn, you're up.
Stop! Make my book come out. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. Yeah. So you wave your hand, say the command word to your holster for your spell book as it now opens up and begins hovering in front of you. As you wave a hand, cast Mage Armor, and that ethereal blue shield begins to surround your body, almost like snapping into place, increasing your armor class, making you harder to hit.
Is there anything to hide behind, and any rocks I can run to with my 25 feet of movement?
You'd probably have to make a dash to get to any of the rocks that are on the map. You guys are just out in the middle of the desert at the moment.
Well, I'll get as close as I can to some cover, I suppose.
Okay. Your best bet would probably be over here, like in this area. Like if you took a wider route to get out there. With your movement, you'll get like on the actual map proper. Bill and Pharaoh are both like kind of 20 feet behind you off the map, in essence.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I don't think I can do any bonus action right now, so there it is. I'm a little bit more protected.
Right on. It is other group of goblins. Alright, so these 4 goblins all begin moving in a wave, kind of pressing, now knowing that there is a threat on the other side. What you don't see is the one on the bottom falls off a rock and kind of like just face plants in sand, and now his head's stuck inside of sand because he's bad at dex off a rock. But the other 3 are in a position, and each of them, they're just kind of release a volley in your direction. Each of you have 1 arrow coming at you. We'll just start with the left. Bill, here are the first target. And then Flynn and Pharaoh. 19 on you, Bill. Take 5 points of piercing damage, which is negated because of your ability. There's nothing magical about this. Flynn, a 5. He kind of pulls back the bow, holds the arrow, and lets it go, and the arrow just kind of like clatters and falls directly in front of him. Do you hear it clink off a rock? And Pharaoh, 21.
That hits.
3 points of piercing damage as it kind of sneaks through some of the armor plating. You are heavily armored, but this one found a way in. Kind of just cut you in the underarm a little bit. Not comfortable. That is going to end the goblins' turns. Pharaoh, you are up.
Alright, how far am I to, like, can get on the map? I have 25 for my movement.
If you used all 25, you would get to this position here.
Okay, that's fine. I will use... As a bonus action, I'm going to put Shield of Faith on Flynn, so you get an extra +2 for your AC. And since they're all kind of a little far, I'll use a cantrip and use Sacred Flame on, let's say, this guy, protecting his boss, it looks like.
Okay. What does Sacred Flame look like as you cast it?
So it is a radiant spell. So it's gonna look like a flaming, glittery blue beam. A ball.
Ooh. It's a beam that's also a ball.
It's like, well, it's like a beam, but it's like a comet almost. Like it's like a ballish shape, and then has a little tail, like a.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of wind back with the giant hammer and just swing it as it releases this ball of energy that looks like a comet trailing through the sky in the direction of that goblin.
So he'll need to make a dex save.
Makes it. I don't think he takes half damage on that either.
I don't think he does either. Target nope. So yeah.
Yeah, so it misses. He sees this comet of energy flying in his direction and then just rolls out of the way as it creates this giant cloud of just dust and sand that gets kicked up from your spell. Anything else for you?
That's it for now.
Back to the top. It's Bill.
I'd like to call down lightning between the goblin she just attacked and that leader-looking goblin.
Okay, yeah. Got a 17 and a 4. That is more than enough to destroy this guy who succeeded, and this guy who failed is looking real bad now.
How far off the map am I at the moment?
You'd be 20 feet off the map. Yeah, so as you kind of begin moving up, call another streak of lightning to land in between the two goblins over there. One of them, charred on one side, falls over dead, and the other one gets blown up. You see him still standing, but looking very rough. Anything else for you, Bill?
Nope, that finishes me.
Right up. Goblin boss, seeing that things are getting bad, is going to... Yeah. Run back here, and you begin hearing shouts all the way from the back as the other goblins that are in this corner are beginning to turn around. They are in the process of doing so. Ending that turn, two of them are going to... begin moving that direction, but two of them stay. That was the wrong person to click on, but it was a crit, so it doesn't matter. He makes his landing and gets to where he's at. Those two are going to also go ahead and join in with some arrows. One towards Bill, one towards Pharaoh. $13 on Bill, 8 on Pharaoh. Just misses you. So
It's just
yeah, lands in the dirt in front of both of you. These guys seem to be a little bit distracted before this fight and are not shooting so hot. That ends their turn. Flynn, you're up.
Do we got any rocks around me that are like softball size, 1 to 5 pounds, would you say?
Oh, there's plenty of them. You're in a desert. There are plenty of like small rocks in that area of weight for you to use.
Fantastic. I'm gonna grab the one I'm gonna cast catapult. Grab the one that's nearest to me and chuck it at old boy up here on the rock.
Yeah, put that catapult spell up. Not one that I see too often.
It's a DC 14 dex save.
All right.
It's pretty awesome if it works. It just didn't work the one time I used it.
He fails. Describe the spell for me.
So basically, I can take any object that's 1 to 5 pounds and chuck it 90 feet in any direction in a straight line, like a bullet. So I take this rock telekinetically, chuck it at this Yahoo, and just hit him really hard with a really fast rock.
Yeah, so you standing there kind of just wave your hands in the direction of this rock as the earth begins to like pull it in and then and launches this rock just spinning in the direction of a goblin. Roll your 3d8 bludgeoning damage. And it flies through his skull as there's now just a vacant hole left behind where the rock was coming from, and he dead.
And there's more where that came from. Fuckface. I still got the arrow in my chest.
Looking super kick-ass. Are you going to move, or you got a bonus action?
I'm going to move. Probably. I can't see main Gobbo right now, huh? He went behind a rock.
Correct, yeah.
You know what? I'm not scared. I'm going to climb up this rock up here. I'm just going to get up this rock. I'm standing on this rock and bring it.
Right on. So you climb up a rock and get into position to destroy more goblins. Pharaoh, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna get as far in the thicket as I can. And this guy, let's see, I'm gonna cast Magic Weapon on my Warhammer. So I'll get a +1 to attack rolls and damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just swing for the head.
Go for it. That definitely hits.
5, because I get a +1 to it.
Big 5 damage to this goblin. He is still up.
Ah!
As you swing out and just kind of smack him across the face with a hammer. As now he's just like rubbing one side of his face, looking very irritated that you did that.
He is my nemesis. I just scream in his face, and I'm done.
Okay. Goes back up to the top. Bill, you're up.
Can I see part of the leader goblin from here?
Yeah, you can see a part of him. You know where he's at.
I'm gonna go ahead and light him up with call lightning again.
Yeah. I don't think it matters what he rolls, but let's do it anyways. He gets blown up. Another streak of lightning into the ground just evaporates this goblin boss as he is no longer here. Anything else for you, Bill?
That finishes up. No, that finishes up my turn.
Alright, it goes to the goblins in the back here. These two, 5, 10, they'll just get into position over here. This guy's gonna act with the rest of them now as he's finally dug his hand out of the, or his head out of the sand. He's gonna get, we'll say right here on the corner. So it started out with 2 slashes out in your direction, Bill. I'm gonna assume both of those miss, as you're just kind of like leaning backwards as both these goblins are quickly slashing in your direction. Pharaoh, you have one coming at you from the one that you are engaged with. Rolling bad dice right now. And this one on the rock is going to shoot a bow at the tiny spellcaster. 19 to hit.
Shield. It misses.
You wave your hand in front of your face, breaking the bolt as you cast an arcane shield in front of you to protect you from this arrow. That ends all of their turns, and Bill, you would notice that the 2 goblins that haven't moved in the back, there's a lot of fire boiling back there, and you see one of them just turn to ash and dust as he disappears. And you get the visual of another creature that's been here. You see this dog, this canine-like entity in the back corner that was being held by 2 gerblins, as being completely like engulfed in flames. Red is glowing from the inside of him as flame is kind of like pouring out of the mouth. And now he's in initiative. Then with that, you just make a random marker for gerblins so I know where they're at. Put these guys at 11.11. That was all of their turns. Flynn, you cast shield, I believe. Who was it, Flynn or Pharaoh that was up next?
Shield was just my reaction.
I know the goblins just went, but I also deleted their turn order since you killed the one that had an initiative on him.
I thought it was Bill's turn next.
Oh yeah, Bill just, we'll jump back to the top. Bill, you're up.
I'm going to point just on the other side of these goblins and call down lightning just on the other side of them.
Okay. Believe both of them save. I think your DC is 14. Both of them take 8, which is enough to char them, and they are dead.
I would like to back up a little bit and get back to back with Pharaoh.
Okay. Yeah, so you move into position behind Pharaoh after lightning 2 more Gerblins. That's the end of your turn. It's going to be this doggy's turn. Who's going to attack this Gerblin? As, Bill, you're the only one really kind of with visual in this area. This, burning-looking dog bites into the goblin kind of in the midsection, and then flames kind of roil out of the mouth, charring it as it just separates in its mouth and falls into a pile. As that Gerblin's gone. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 is how far he can get. As the giant hellhound now looking out, you see flames like out of its mouth as it's surveying the area, looking very pissed. Ends its turn. Flynn, you're up.
I think it's time I rip this arrow out of my chest and drink a potion. Two, one. I always forget.
I think it's
1, 2d4, 1d4.
I think it's 2d4 plus 2. I think.
It is. Or basic.
Hot diggity.
Dang, dude, you're almost back to full. So you rip the arrow out and pull out one of those basic potions that was... You guys had a trading session the previous day, and drink that. Heals you up pretty good. Anything else for you?
No.
Okie dokie. Goes to the old Gerblin's turns. This boy gonna move up this rock a little bit more. This one's gonna stay here and fight you, Pharaoh. So, scimitar towards Pharaoh. 15 to hit.
No way.
And the other one's gonna shoot a bow at this dog thing, because it is more scared of that than you. And it misses as it sinks in the sand in front of it. Goblins are useless. Pharaoh, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna... Gotta get this guy out of the way so I can go get this dog. So I'm just gonna slash down my warhammer upon his head.
That does not hit.
It's 13, technically, because I get +1 to attacks.
Still does not hit. You swing over its head, which is amazing because you are short as well.
I don't understand how I keep missing this guy. What I got?
The story of Pharaoh. How do I keep missing? Jumps to you, Bill.
Oh, didn't mean to click that.
I'll call down lightning on the goblin farthest south of us here.
Definitely does not make that. 13 lightning. You turn him into goblin dust with another lightning strike.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to double click.
No, you're good. 13 and 14 is still both enough to destroy a goblin that has done nothing. Except for buried himself in sand for a moment. Anything else for you, Bill? Got your movement and bonus action, I believe.
I'm going to stay here for right now.
Okay. Jumps to the hound. 15, 20, 25... 30, 35, 40. Yeah, he's gonna move into that position. You see him kind of like running and slide as he arches back and releases this torrent of flame, which turns into a 15-foot cone, which will hit all 3 of you. So I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, good. I'm great at those.
Not you, Flynn. You're up on a cliff. You're out of range of this.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure how high it was.
So all of you take 22 points of fire damage as you are engulfed in flame from this creature. And that goblin is dead. Finished him off for you, Pharaoh. You see the hellhound is now like just kind of lurching forward and breathing, waiting to see what you do. That ends its turn. Flynn, you're up.
Wasn't going to attack the poor pooch, but he just lit up my friend. So we're going to cast a level 2 catapult. Going to grab another rock from, let's just say, right there, and then shoost him. So that's a dex save.
Okay. $11. Nice. And you chuck a rock real hard at its face, and you see it kind of like crack against it, and the skin of this like hellhound is almost like a solidified stone as you see cracks starting to break up and this red glow beginning to emanate from the side as its attention has turned right at you.
It did come from a slightly different direction. No, it's cool. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Pharaoh, you're up.
All right, well, I gotta not having much luck with swinging and hitting right now, so I'm gonna take a couple step back. And I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on him. Sorry, Levy's freaking out because of the thunder.
You good. Do your guiding bolt. You cast Guiding Bolt, and as you try to use Guiding Bolt, swinging that hammer again, it just goes... and then the spell dissipates before even really leaving the hammer.
I need some, like, spell Viagra or something, like, to, like...
Maybe you're just meant
Get
to be a
these-
healer.
I will not heal unless I have to.
Anything else for you, Pharaoh?
Since that spell didn't work, can I use a leveled bonus action or no?
No, that's not how that works.
I figured it was worth a try. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Then jumps to you, Bill. What you got?
I'm gonna call lightning down on that guy again.
Okay.
The hellhound.
Go for it. You got a whole 11, so fails. Take 12 points of damage.
Then I'm gonna step away a little bit.
Okay. Jumps to his turn, now kind of like digging at the sand, looking across. Flynn and Bill, completely ignoring Pharaoh. She hasn't done anything.
Thanks.
Does not recharge its breath. So it is going to charge in the direction of Flynn, because you hit it with a rock harder than that lightning hit. It is going to get within space and then kind of like leap in your direction on the cliff and like lash out with a bite in your direction. $16?
Just misses. Wait, nope. Shield.
Cast another shield. Throw up another shield, and you see like the jaws crash against the arcane shield that you conjure, and then like snap shut directly in front of your face as you're lurched back. That ends its turn. Flynn, you're up.
I'm gonna reach out, do a little ditty, and cast slow on the boy.
Yeah, good call.
So another 14 saving throw.
Third team, he is slowed. What's slow look like as you cast it?
Wait a minute. Is it wisdom? Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. So yeah, it looks like just a little, like a translucent, just blue little beam. And once it hits him, this like blue, like smoky energy just goes all around him and dissipates, and then all of a sudden it's just like it's floating in water almost.
Yeah, so it's moving super slow. It has -2 to AC and dexterity saving throws for everybody else attacking it. Anything else for you, Flynn?
No. It'll bite my feet off if I try to move. I'm just gonna be right there.
Okay. Jumps to you, Pharaoh.
All right. Well, guess I'll get to the other side of him. And since brute force isn't working.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It doesn't have reactions with the slow. I'm gonna jump off that rock and run away to the other rock. I'm going to the other rock.
Go to the other rock. Right on.
Gotta read the whole spell. Sometimes you learn stuff.
Just
Sorry,
rock
Sam.
something. You're good. Well, since brute force isn't working, I'm gonna cast blindness and deafness on him, and I choose blindness, so he'll just be a slow, blind hell dog.
Okay.
And he needs to make a 14 DC save for con.
Doesn't work. You cast the spell, and the eyes kind of like glaze over, but it doesn't seem to have effect as that dissipates rather quickly.
Big debut today. Pharaoh. Yeah, I mean, I guess if he doesn't have any reactions, I'm gonna run away a little bit too.
Okay.
So that way, I'll go here. No, I'm gonna go over here. He has to make a choice of where to go.
Okay.
So, that's where I am.
Wonderful. Bill, you're back up.
I'm gonna walk forwards a little bit towards him and strike him with all lightning again.
Get it. Doesn't succeed either way. Yeah. You dropped the lightning. Bill, how do you want to do this?
I wanted to come right down on like his shoulder haunches, and where the fire and stuff was coming out of his mouth, there'll be just this puff of like stems before he crumbles.
Missed the whole last part of that because you broke up.
Sorry about that. The lightning will come down, and as his flames were coming out of his mouth, there'll just be a puff of static electricity come out as well before he crumbles.
Yeah, so that familiar... Wait a second. Did you maintain your concentration on this spell earlier? I'm not going to redact it, but did you?
I never rolled.
Yeah, I
I
forgot
didn't
to.
even think about it.
You're good. So the streak of lightning comes down again, crashes into the Hellhound, and you watch it just kind of like fizzle. The flames kind of gouting out begin to have like these little arcs of lightning connecting all of them as the fire dims and dies down, and it collapses into the ground. And you all are left in the desert. Multiple bodies scattered about.
Oh, did we kill all the gobbies?
Yeah, they're all gone.
Oh, I just saw 2 more tokens. I was about to start shooting ice beams.
Well, I was completely useless doing that. I irritated one goblin.
We all got our off days. It's hot. But hey, my catapult worked. You see that? Those
That
things are deadly.
was awesome. I feel like we're gonna need to do some training. Like, if you want to shoot catapults at the side of me, and I'll try to hit them with my warhammer to make me better. Like, we can do that every night before bed.
If you think you need to, I
I-
think you just need to stretch more in the morning.
I could try stretches.
They helped me when I was old.
Bill, that lightning is ridiculous.
That is awful nice.
I must
Do
go-
any of the goblins have anything worth taking from them?
Make an investigation check for me as you walk around through the sands, kind of flipping goblins over and checking to see if they have anything. Yeah, these goblins don't seem to have a lot. A lot of crude weapons, like very simple swords, most of which are made of stone. You see the arrows are made of stone and just like loose pieces of wood. Some of them aren't even built to where you think they'd even fly if they were shot out of a bow, which is why maybe some of them had a hard time shooting them. Not a lot of resources in this desert. But overall, no, not a whole lot of stuff. You find like a pouch of random meats that seem to be a little bit spoiled. Outside of that, there's no currency on them. No identifying markings or features, anything of interest. Just seems to be, there's a random band of goblins out here causing a ruckus, maybe looking for supplies. You would guess based on how little they have.
I won't bother with the bag of spoiled meat.
You sure?
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
You're coming real handy later.
I think I'll be able to produce some spoiled meat fairly easy around here without it.
Alrighty. Well, with that, you guys are left in kind of like this little circular area. You see where that hellhound came out of is a bit of, like, it seems to trail off into like a cavern, these large stone structure. And outside of that, you know that your path is leading you more up north, in the direction of where that ambush is set to be.
Do we know if hellhounds are normal to be, like, on this continent or where we are?
You don't know exactly what that creature is. I will have you make a nature check to see if you can discern anything about that creature. It's a hellhound, like, in general, but...
Guidance.
Can we be doing a short rest during this time?
Yeah, if you want to take a sit for an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna do arcane recovery and probably roll hit dice.
18.
Yeah. No, this is not a normal plane of existence creature. This creature kind of comes from, like, either a fire plane or the hells. It is noted and documented. You've heard of this. It would be a hellhound that you know in character. But no, it is not a normal thing to find, like, in a just standard plane
Are
of
we in-
existence.
East Bride's territory by chance?
You don't have any clue on whose territory you're in because you don't know what the territory lines are.
Okay.
You know they each have cities, but you don't know what their territories would be.
I wonder if this hellhound was like a pet that got loose from the East Brides, since we found out from Bokia they're actually like from the Hell plane, so maybe like one of their little pets got lost.
That's very astute. Could be. I felt bad. It didn't look like. Well, couldn't really tell. Before it burned you guys, I think it was just going for goblin, but you can't ever be too careful.
I don't think he was very biased on who he was trying to eat.
Well, we're learning more things every day. Watch out for goblins, arrows, and fire dogs.
I love them fire dogs.
So, an hour passes. You guys sitting in the desert, sweating to death, because it is super hot in this area. Pharaoh, Bill, either of you can roll hit dice if you feel so inclined to do so, since I know both of you are damaged pretty heavily. But the short rest comes to an end. Where are we headed?
Staying on course. Getting to the place.
Oh. It's not bad. Bill, Flynn, one of you want healing?
I'm good now.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty good at the moment.
I could be murdered by a paper cut, but I can also be completely patched up but with a band-aid.
Well, don't say I never offered to heal you up, so remember that.
Oh no, you did it once.
I am the best cleric.
So, at the end of a short rest, all of you begin progressing onward towards this secret capital. Not too much happens the next couple days. Mainly just traversing a desert is most of it. For the next 2 days of your travel, I would like all of you to make Constitution saving throws. So, each of you give me 2.
I was just going to use both of those.
Yeah, that works for me. You all travel pretty well throughout the next 2 days. Like I said, nothing unusual happens, nothing jumps out and tries to eat your face. No more sightings of that weird melting man for the next 2 days. Coming to the end of that second day, when you start this third day of your travel towards this capital, Pharaoh, with the heavy armor, sweating profusely, you will start this day with a point of exhaustion.
Oh. So hot. Feel like I should put my armor in the bag of holding, but that's not smart. What's exhaustion do again? Like having 1 point? Just...
I think level 1 gives you disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws off the top of my head. Maybe not.
I think it's just ability checks actually.
You can add a tracker to your character sheet that would tell you exactly what it does, but I can also look it up.
Oh.
I'm not
Pretty
managing.
sure.
Disadvantage on ability checks.
There you
Yeah,
Okay.
just regular ability checks and like, initiative also counts as an ability check.
Oh, that's good to know. I did not know that.
There you go. All your ability checks and your initiative. Disadvantage for the day. And at that point, as you guys are all waking up, getting ready to travel for your 4th day, getting closer to this capital in the center of Muthana, we're going to take our last break. Could be a short one. Just use the bathroom, get a drink. Then we will finish up. Hey stream, hey YouTube, we'll be back. Dude, don't go anywhere. Like, subscribe, bell stuff. Hit bells. Hit bells.
Bells.
Make bells ding. Make them go ding 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 ding. And then we'll be back. Back, yeah, we're back. We're back, yeah, we're back. We're back, yeah, we're back. D&D. There it goes. Yep, that's the one. It's really raining outside.
Yeah, it's raining too.
Hard rain's gonna fall. So, we pick up on the... would technically be the 4th day of travel here. After we pass 2 days of traveling through the desert, you'll begin to progress again. It's a normal day, except for Pharaoh, you are a little bit exhausted, having a hard time keeping up with the rest of the troop. I need everybody to make a perception check. Pharaoh, yours is at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Yep. Good.
Alright, so Bill, you were the first one to notice that there is a massive, like, wall of mountain range in front of you. Off in the distance, still probably like a good bit of travel, as Pharaoh you begin to notice, and then Flynn you start to notice as well, as Bill is kind of relaying this information, letting you all know that you're probably getting close.
Farah, did you want to send another message to Listener?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ooh, how should we word this? About how far does it look, travel-wise, to, like, where the walls are?
We'll relay that it probably takes like 2 more days, based on how far the mountains are, but that's dependent on how big these mountains are. Like, it's just his perception now is giving an idea.
Okay, so I'll tell him about 2-3 days out. I'll meet with him. Should we meet with him in the capital? Because we are trying to prevent people from getting in, and then we have to be outside to distract.
I think if we let them know that, I don't know, about a half a day behind us is people coming break into the capital, and we were sent as a distraction group. And we're trying to sabotage it.
Okay. I will try to relay this message.
Does that sound good, Bill? You got anything to add, or?
No, that should cover it.
Alright. Fingers, please. Me again. 2-3 days out. People coming to infiltrate. We want to sabotage. Meet with you and make plan. Yes? Okie dokie. Okie dokie is one word. See you soon. Alright. It's sent. I'm getting really good at this.
I hope he thinks that we want to sabotage them and not him. But we'll find out. We just need to
Oh.
approach peacefully.
Oh. I mean, I hope he'd understand if I'm telling him we're going to sabotage. It's not like we're sabotaging you, letting you know we're sneak attacking. Like, don't think it came off that way.
Oh, hello. Okay. You just meet up with the guards and I'll be there. We have a chit chat. Nice talking to
Alright.
you again.
Oh wow, he's real short and sweet. Yeah, he's fine with it. He said when we get there, just let the guards know we're there to see him and he'll come out and we'll have a chit chat.
Well, should we get headed? Keep ahead of the people who are following us?
Yeah. God, I hope they don't shoot us on sight. I don't know if you've ever been shot in the sternum with an arrow, but it fucking hurts.
I'd say I feel like you're a pro at it this time.
Well, another time it was more towards the collarbone, right in the sternum. It knocks the air out of you, and it stings.
Just imagine us having to pull arrows out of Flynn every few days.
We're probably starting to gather up quite a bit of arrows. I mean, if we ever ran into somebody that shot arrows, they could be pretty rich by now.
I present to you this quiver of arrows that I pulled out of my body. It's a token of my goodwill, favor for you.
Oh, Flynn, that's how you should court your next lady.
Well, I'll meet one that's an archer, I suppose.
To get flowers, overrated. Everyone knows and does it. Stand out. Because you are Flynn. With a long name.
Hurricane. Cecilio.
Kite.
Yes.
Aeromagnet Kite.
Oh, Magnet. Not a bad nickname. Think of worse things to be called.
Well, do we want to try to do some wild shape, or you want a wild shape build, try to maybe traverse a little faster?
Certainly. And I'll go ahead and turn into a riding horse.
Okay. Yeah. So you take that horse form again to try and speed up the expedition. Get through all of this.
Definitely gonna be eyes up for goblins from now on.
And hellhounds.
Or anything with a bow.
Flynn, you notice a bow, carrying a bow, that is wielding a bow.
Fuck that fireball.
But your travel is expedited for the rest of the day. You all move through the desert. It begins to kind of shift back into a lively sort of topography. Not so much the desert. You're starting to see more plants sprouting from the ground, different pieces of shade. As you move to the end of this evening, you all notice, I'm not going to make you roll anything, you do all notice that there's a large cave kind of like just jutting out of the ground, covered in stone. The backside of it is covered in grass and different sorts of like plant life. It seems to hang off the back. It almost looks like a weird turtle shell kind of jutting out of the sand, and it opens up into a large cavern as the sun is now setting. Do you want to set up camp somewhere or press into actual night? Try and make as much distance as possible.
I mean, that cave looks like a good place to hold up for tonight. trap.
It's just the funniest way to reply to what I just laid out to you is that, like, there's a cave. What do you guys want to do? Well, that cave looks like a good place to camp.
Bill's still a horse.
For the stream,
That's
since
up
my
to-
mic was muted, the second wild shape has ended.
Well, I know you're really hot in the armor, Pharaoh, so we can rest now if you need to. Unless we want to get more distance. I'm good either way. Is it still hot?
Yeah, you're still in a very hot climate. Like, it's still sweltering outside, but more and more life is beginning to emerge from the sand. It's not just tons of sand everywhere, like you're in the middle of nowhere in a desert. You're now on the verge of, like, desert and what is probably going to turn into, like, forest, mountainous terrain. Just a different climate on this continent. But at the moment, where you guys are, it is still very hot.
The cave might be a little cooler, but if there are any other beasts, they might be also in the cave.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can keep going for a few more hours. Get a little cooler area.
Works for me.
Yep.
Okay, so you all press on around the cave. Continue for about 2 more hours until you hit, like, more of sleeping climate. Still in the desert, but you do find, like, a smattering of trees that looks like a good spot to camp in. You all set up camp for your evening. Who's gonna take watches?
I could take the first one.
I'll take the last one to get as much sleep, at least beforehand.
Okie dokie. Bill, give me a perception check. Glancing about. Not a whole lot going on. Hear the wind kind of off in the distance, like blowing across the desert sands. But where you're at now is almost like detached from it. There is more space to, or more obstacles for the wind to blow through, so it's not as strong in this area. Having the small patches of grass that you do is nice and a change from the beachy type sleeping arrangement that you've had over the past few days. Nothing picks up on your radar through your watch. Flynn begins to toss and turn and wake up. Flynn, with a crazy perception check. You're on point. You wake up and you're ready to listen and watch. You have your eyes all over the place. You're spinning around in circles, jumping, looking for anything. You do eventually begin to hear like the cracking of branches and plant life shifting, occasionally transferring into like the of sand as something is crossing through the surroundings in your direction.
I'm gonna throw out my 4 globules. Hold on, let me look at the range. I think it's... Yeah, it's a waste. I'm gonna throw out my globules about 80 feet left. Diagonally left ahead of me.
Okay. So you throw them out in a direction. The footsteps that you were hearing stop, and then begin again. So you're hearing walking. And you hear a voice kind of call out from that direction of your globules that you've tossed out in a direction.
Oh, hello. Just saw the campfire. Thanks for the light. Mind if I'll rest a bit at your camp?
You see kind of this older elven woman, probably in the hundreds of years old, as far as you know elves, kind of walk out with like this long, what looks to be a staff, kind of gnarled and twisted branches wrapping around each other, and at the top comes to a point. Looks like this massive spear with like an obsidian tip to it, this black shining point. As she walks out wearing like an adventurer's pack, a backpack, a bedroll, all sorts of gear on her back, some pots and pans kind of hanging off the side, and wearing just brighter colors in general. You can see she's probably preparing to head into the desert where it might be beneficial to her. But that's who's standing in front of you.
Sure. Sure. You can join us. Just we're a little on edge. We've had quite a stressful number of days.
Oh, thank you so much. It is a little scary out here. There's lots of creatures and monsters. Gotta watch out for them. They snap on you. Hump. And just get your legs.
As you see, she kind of like sits down on a rock, positioned opposite of you, Bill and Pharaoh both on either side. Like now you guys are in a kind of like a full square kind of thing, each of you being a corner, sitting directly across from you. As she kind of flips the spear over and jets it into the ground as she sits down.
You mind if I use the fire to cook me some dinner? Do you mind?
No, go for it. What brings you out here all by yourself?
Oh, I'm just traveling out here to meet some friends. Do a little meeting every once in a while. It's pretty nice. We're all friends, and, you know, we don't get to see each other. We live all over the place.
You see she's rustling through a bag and begins to pull out like these weird soggy meats and throws them in one of the pans and just kind of sets it on the edge of your campfire that's kind of smoldering at the moment, not like a raging bonfire. And with your vision outside of like the globules, like you can just kind of see the underside, the reflection. Tanned, very aged face. Still in great health as far as you know, like elves and how they age very slowly. This one just being extremely old, waiting on food to cook, as she's kind of now poking it with a stick, just shifting it around this little pan.
You and your friends. Or you, old adventuring buddies or something? You get together every so often, anniversary type of situation, or?
Oh, no, we all kind of had some restaurants back in the day. We've traveled and hunted together, yes, but not like adventuring. We're not dungeon delvers or anything like that. We have a cooking competition every year. We meet up in this little cottage and we all just cook elegant meals and try to impress one another and see who wins. It gets very aggressive. Someone died once.
What?
Yeah, someone died once.
Someone poisoned another person's food?
Oh no, they were just old. They died.
Oh, I'm sorry. My condolences.
What about you all? What are you doing out here?
Oh, just trying to make a bit of coin, really. On a little quest, try to save some lives if we can, or at least learn something.
Oh, well, here.
And you see her kind of like rummage through a pack and then toss you like a little bag. It's got like 5 gold pieces in it as you kind of look inside of it.
Now you've been successful. You've made some coin by helping me let me cook my meats.
Oh, are you sure? I mean, it's It's not that big of a trouble. You don't have to give me 5 gold.
Yes, but I mean, if I give you this, you've succeeded. You've made your gold. Yes, you've done it. You've made your bit of coin.
Well, thank you. At least, if we don't get as far as we wanted to go, you're right. We did succeed.
I would say at this point, Pharaoh, you are waking up for your last watch, and you come to and see this old elven woman with a staff that's just kind of like jutting out of the ground. You don't see the spear part of it. Cooking some meat on a fire, and that's kind of the first thing that catches your senses as you're waking up, is like this really good smelling meat cooking on a fire.
Well, Ben, you made a friend. Hello.
Sorry, I didn't ask your name, ma'am. My name's Flynn.
Oh, my name's Gooby.
Yeah, she was just walking by and saw the fire, so she can rest a bit and cook. So, yeah,
Oh.
it's very nice staff, by the way.
Thank you. Made it myself a long time ago.
It's got a spear tip on the end, Pharaoh.
Oh, good to know. You're able to protect yourself, I'm guessing, with that?
Yeah, pretty well. Just kind of scares most things off. I use it for hunting sometimes. Pick it up and chuck it real far. Get him in the neck.
Oh. Feel like you might need to train me a little bit. Having some trouble right now getting people in the neck.
Well, the problem might be that you're wearing too much armor. You got all that weight on you. Can't really, rotate the shoulders.
You just gave me an idea. Gooby? Thank you. Very insightful. Well, I guess, Flint, I will let you sleep. I will sit here with Gooby. And Gooby, feel free to sleep, too. We'll keep watch over you.
Once I finish my meats, I'll take a nap. And then you just wake me up when you leave, so I don't get murdered.
Alrighty then.
Real quick before I pass out, I'm just trying to get one good distance at that staff just to make sure there's no weird Bokia symbols.
Make a perception check. Good roll. No, you look over the staff, it seems to be like a very natural, like, having a glance in the direction of this staff, you feel like that the actual, the staff portion, not the spear portion, but this wood was grown this way, like it was shaped and molded to grow into like this winding of wood to create this staff until it was cut off at the bottom. The bottom, which is now out of the top, you can see like there's a little metal cap on it holding it in place. But you don't see any like symbols, markings, anything weird like that on it. It seems to be some trees that were wound together and made into a spear thing for this lady.
Cool.
So, Gooby, are you traveling through this desert on your own?
Oh, I'm gonna stick a little bit away from the desert. Kinda like in the in-between. Walk in the desert, get some rocks. Walk in the trees, get them cool. It's a good, like, median. I don't want to walk just in the desert. I saw your fire when I was coming up, and I thought I'd ask to join. So that's why I'm out this far, but, go back in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, just glad you're not walking all the way through it. We ran into some goblins and a hellhound. We were able to defend yourself, but I just want to make sure you'll be fine. But you sound like you got a good plan.
Yeah, it'll be fine. There's lots of nasty beasties out there. Seen a lot of them. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Oh, you sound more like an adventurer than a hunter.
I mean, they're almost the same. The adventure, kind of in the woods, but I don't do the adventuring things. I don't go into dungeons or spookies. I just stay in the woods and kill critters and cook them.
Well, I will let you go at it, and I will be very vigilant for us and you tonight. I feel very uncomfortable with this old lady.
Oh well.
As Flynn dozes off and she's just sitting there like eating meat. Really just like staring into the embers of the fire. It's really all that happens throughout your watch. She eventually lays down and dozes off unless you have anything else to say to this older elf woman.
No, just maybe idle chit-chat.
Yeah, so you have like some small talk. Just conversing. She eventually falls asleep, and all of you wake up the next morning. Bill, you wake up to a new member in the group. As you kind of wake up and see that Pharaoh's like packing stuff up. Flynn's kind of just waking up and rolling over. He opens his eyes and glances over to make sure that that person's still there and sees that they're still sleeping there. Bill, you are greeted with one of an image of this drow man. Long white hair kind of braided down the back. Just laying next to the staff, kind of back towards you. Pack sitting on the side, and that's what you see. You got a new person hanging out at your camp this morning.
Oh, Bill, good morning. This little lady, she's Gooby. She just came to do some meats on the fire in the middle of the night.
Hold on. Was she a drow last night? Or the normal elf?
Or do we see her, as me and Flynn still see her as a normal old elf woman?
The hair's still the same. You don't really notice as the back's to you. Just Bill, like, investigating the person that's sleeping at the camp kind of picks up on this. But no, she was not a drow the night before. It was just an older, normal elf woman.
This guy was an old lady last night?
Wait, she's a guy?
And as you glance over, you see that this is not a, like, old wood elf woman, but a drow man with the spear and pack on the ground just sleeping at your camp.
This is not Gooby.
In undercommon, I'm gonna loudly, "Good morning, friend."
The figure kind of rolls over and then looks down.
Oh shit. My spell wore off. Hello. It's me, Lacenar. We talked. Through magic.
Why were you pretending to be an old lady elf named Gooby?
Well, I wanted to make sure you're nice.
Oh,
What if I just walked in
okay.
here as an old lady and you tried to blow me up with spells? Then I'd know you're mean.
It's got a point. I knew it wasn't gonna look. I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. I thought at least they were setting up a trap for us or something. This is good too. I thought that you were someone else. I was worried you might be someone else, but no, it's all good. I'm
No.
Flynn.
Oh, nice to meet you again. Lacenar.
So, do you really do cooking contests with your friends?
You know, actually, I'm a pretty good cook. Not as good as Gooby is, but you know, I can try.
Oh, Gerby's based off a real person.
No.
Ah, shit. She seemed real nice. I was hoping he was like an old friend or something.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll meet a real Gooby. But no. It's just my dreams. I wish I had a Gooby in my life to cook me nice meals.
Pocket bacon?
Can I make an insight check on him to make sure he's being honest with us?
Yeah, go for it. Kind of a weird person, but yeah, everything is matching up so far. Like, it seems like he's trying to deceive you in any way.
So yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on the past week, and well, more than that actually. But we heard about you. We heard that you were once part of the Ocean's Guild, and that you mysteriously disappeared. And we started to kind of figure that maybe we were on the wrong side of things, and we're just trying to learn more about maybe why you left, what's really going on, why people would want to try to break into the capital.
Oh, yeah, of course. We can talk about all that stuff while we're walking there. I just wanted to meet you so we could, you know, have chit-chats, get to know you. Who are you?
He kind of just glances over at you, Bill.
I know who the other two are. They introduced themselves to Gooby. Who are you?
I'm Bill.
Lasonar, nice to meet you. Alright, let's get moving. Pip pip.
I love this guy.
He just starts packing stuff up and waits for you all to be ready to go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, you all head out for your last maybe 1 day or 2 days. Walking along, you do have idle conversation with Lasonar.
Yeah, so they're trying to get into the capital because we got superpowers in there. Real strong stuff. Scares them all away. Kinda elevates spells, if you know what I mean.
Wait.
I think I know what you mean.
I don't.
It makes them stronger.
Oh, that's cool.
Can't tell you what it is or anything, because you might try to kill me. But that's what
Okay.
it does.
No, that's sensible. I definitely don't expect to get all the answers right away. We need to show you we're on the up and up.
Yeah, you're nice people. Help you out. So about these people following you. What are they like? What do they do? Do you know?
We don't know. We just know they're part of the. Which guild are they a part of? It's not the Ocean. It's the one. Where did we just come from? The Hammer Building. Hold on now. I've got notes.
Stone Guild. Davenlers.
Alright. Right, we were commissioned by the War Master, Gerig, to cause some sort of a distraction so that this team coming in from behind us can break into the capital and take whatever it is you've got. We were contracted by another wizard who wants us to sabotage this. I don't think her intentions are any good either, but we had a couple of run-ins with some drow and starting to realize maybe we need to do something to help. I learned Undercommon so that I could speak to the next ones I ran into so that there wasn't any unnecessary violence.
Yeah. I mean, that'll help you. Being able to talk undercommon and whatnot. It helped me. Most of the people speak that. Thanks for telling me, though. Who knows what would have happened if you went through the plan and then we had some people in there trying to find our secrets. Would have been real bad.
I mean, now you can protect whatever you're protecting, knowing that there's going to be an infiltration, and we can still pretend to be this distraction, but not really.
I mean, I'd rather just have you help me stop the infiltrators. That'd be cool.
Oh, that works too.
I can make the guards cause like all sorts of ruckus, make them think that you're down there doing something. Shoot off some sparklers, some fireworks and stuff like that. Make them think we're having a real party because we killed ya.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe not pretend like you killed us. We want them to think that, like, ooh, they're like, this is easy. We can just get right in. They're having some trouble down there. They're really putting up a fight.
Well, I mean, they know it's not easy. Otherwise they wouldn't set up this elaborate plan. So what do you guys want? Why are you telling me about this? Why'd you meeting up with me? You want something?
Me personally, we know their side of the story. We don't know your side of the story. We don't know what started all of this fighting. Got a pretty good idea it was them. And I don't know, I think all of us just want to help good people in general. A little bit of coin here and there, never hurt anyone, just to make a living, but more so, just trying to help. It's making sure we're not on the wrong side of things, making money off of other people's oppression, mostly.
Right on. Yeah, it's not really my story, you know. I kind of just joined up like you are now. It's more their story. But same as you know, they lived here. They shouldn't be kicked off where they were living by people that don't live here. So I was like, I don't like this. I'm gonna go help them. Here I am. That's it. That's all I know.
So, how has helping them been so far? Because you've been gone from the Oceans Guild for quite a while. Like, you guys making waves?
No, it's been terrible. There's a lot of them. At the time we like fought a couple people, there's like 100 more or something that show up, and I hate it. I just gotta keep poking them with this spear.
He takes his spear and kind of does like a...
I'll get them.
Alrighty then. Very insightful.
Yeah, I'm just here to help where I can. I say, what can I do? And they go do that. I say, alright.
So, how far up are you up in the hierarchy of this capital?
Oh, not at all. I've made some friends. I know some of the heavy hitters. But, I mean, not at all. Not like they trust me. I just help them out. They listen to me sometimes because I know the ways of the other people.
Well, maybe we can talk to them when we get there, since we are quite a bit ahead of this other group. And maybe we can just kind of all make a plan, because we want to help also.
Sure thing. I can set it up. But we gotta make sure we stop the infiltrators first. If you make a display for like the other guys that sit up on the mountains and kill people, they'll know you're A-okay. And then I can get you in. We're gonna have a conversation with someone. I don't know who, but someone. Maybe we'll meet Golby.
Gooby. He meant like maybe we'll find Gooby, like the real Gooby.
Carry on.
Okay.
He just keeps walking in front of your group. You do notice that there are, now in the armor, it's not old lady garb and dresses. He's kind of wearing what looks to be some sort of reinforced simple clothing that is padded and armored in different areas. He does have like a little cape cloak that kind of wraps around the front and closes most of the torso. On the back, it has like this giant wolf's head, kind of like just carved in, like embroidered into it with white thread. Most of the clothing is fairly dark. Lots of blacks, grays. You see some like silver belt buckles, rings. Under the braided hair that goes back, you do see like a couple piercings down. Like one ear in particular has a multitude, like 5 or 6 different silver piercings all through one side. That's what you notice through the rest of this day walking. Is there anything else you want to ask Lacenar?
What more can you tell us about this, the Scaladorth? Lion Ghost? These pieces?
Yeah, those. We're looking for those too. They're kind of hidden. Some people have them.
We hear that you get all 7 and you can make a wish. Is
Yep.
it true?
I mean, that's the stories. I haven't seen it happen. I came here after the last wish was made. I guess. I don't know. I'm not from here, remember?
Oh, I know. Just, you've been here a long time. Just didn't know how much you knew.
I pretty much know exactly that. Just the stories that are told. And I know that we're looking for them.
What the last wish was.
Oh, nobody knows that.
Oh, so it just like you make a wish and then all the pieces scatter again. Then you find them, make a wish, scatter.
Yeah, kinda like that. And you gotta find them again. Gives you something to do for a couple 100 years.
Like a really good puzzle.
Yeah, super fun. And get a wish. I don't know about them, but I'd wish for unlimited wishes. I could just keep wishing.
It seems like a loophole, though. I bet they've got rules against that.
Well, that would be disappointing. And I don't know what I'd wish for. I'd be just confused and I'd have to stand at a big serpent man thing in the water. Hate the water. Oh, wet.
Are you not a swimmer?
No, not really. I can. I just don't like it. I don't like the feeling, you know, when your pants get all wet and then it grinds up like in between your creases. Irritates you.
Well, of course, but what if you take your clothes off, get into some swimwear, proper swimwear, and then go for it?
Well, that's not very protective. What if a fish tries to nibble on you? You can't stop that.
Well, you go into the ones that don't have the teeth. No piranha infested, just your normal, maybe a bass or a little. I don't know that many fishies now that I'm thinking about it.
You know, I don't either. I didn't even know those two. I don't like them. Had one graze against my leg one time and it scared me so bad. Hated it. It was all rough and slimy at the same time. It's gross. Just hate swimming.
Yeah, all right. If only we can get like a pool of water, like a swimming pool.
Oh,
There's nothing in it but the water.
that right there is 100 platinum idea. Why has nobody thought of that?
Oh, we can make the pool out of doors. So, whole bunch of doors in a circle.
Bill's a doorman, right? And then Pharaoh's obsessed with the idea of making everything out of doors now.
I don't really
Right.
understand the connection. If Bill just like works outside of buildings as a doorman, why are you obsessed with making everything out of doors? Is it so he can do his job differently?
I just think it'd be an interesting aesthetic.
She's got an artistical brain, I think.
Well, Bill, how would you feel about that if you were a doorman and you had so many doors to look after? It seems like that's just making your job more difficult, yeah?
I think you misunderstand me as a doorman. I used to sell doors. I don't wait around to hold doors and cart in packages.
Oh, well, never mind. That's really good for your business. Let's do it. Let's make a pool of doors.
Yes, I am in.
Gotta get Bill some money somehow. Seems like you're all poor. You took gold from an old lady. Poor people.
Well, in my defense, I had to buy a new spell book and a bunch of spells.
What happened to your last spell book? It's an important thing.
Yeah, funny story. You ever heard of a creepy old melty man a couple days east of Roxhold?
No?
Well, you give him something, and he'll give you something. I had a curse on me that needed to be broken. He was able to fix me, I think. In exchange, he wanted my spell book. Although now we kind of see him every so often when we try to sleep. It's kind of creepy. But that's the story in the short term.
That sounds fucking terrifying. I hate that.
I think Bill got it worse. He freaked out the other night.
I don't know if I want to sleep around you guys. You got melting people coming at you.
Man, no, it's not hurting us, and you weren't there. And I won't describe him any more than that so you don't get a visual because...
Well, I hate this. I'm starting to dislike you guys more and more as we talk. Creeping me out, bunch of weirdos.
That's what happens when you go in ventures. Sometimes things are scary. Fish, melting men.
Oh, you're right. Never mind, I forgive you.
Would you like some wine?
What kind of wine?
It's red.
I hate red wine.
Pocket bacon?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm sending him some pocket bacon. I really want him to like us, and I feel very uncomfortable.
He eats it. This is some good stuff. Thank you.
Got it. Yep, you're welcome. So, real quick, if you guys got all the Scalador pieces, which sounds like something everybody wants, who, like, would your leader be the one making the wish?
I mean, probably.
Oh. So, who is your leader, exactly? Like, do you know them well or heard a lot of good stories about them?
No. Never met him. Just hang out with some other people every once in a while, and then they tell me what he wants.
Good talk.
Yep. Maybe meet him one day. That'd be pretty neat. I've not met him yet.
Like pulling teeth. Well, I guess we just walk and have some chit chat.
Alright, that's it. We're here.
So good.
So he kind of points to the mountain range. You do see that there is like a little path, a break in the this thin mountain range. Getting closer to it, you do notice that like it is almost like a wall. It's very impressive. It seems very unnatural almost. But you do see like off in the distance where he's pointing, and just because he's pointing it out, there's like a staircase that kind of like goes into the mountains and then looks like it goes upwards and then vanishes from sight.
So that's it. That's the way in. You're probably going to be checked out by some people. You're going to want to make sure you're not carrying explosives or something.
I don't. Nope, I'm good on my end, so no explosives. Just I have a vampire arm.
The arm of a vampire.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an explosive. Do they blow up?
No, but it just might be weird, like when they go through like our bags, we're like, oh, there's a vampire arm, and then there's a spectre tongue in here also. So hope they don't judge.
Oh, I mean, none of that's weird. There's vampires and stuff that live in the city. You'll meet some.
Oh, well, I won't show them my bag. These were bad vampires, not good ones.
Oh. Did he throw dairy on your blouse or something? Is that how you knew he was bad?
No, he was, they were chasing us and trying to kill us, and, we were just doing nothing, really.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad.
Yep.
Alright. Well, now they're gonna check you out. You can probably keep the vampire arm. I don't think they'll be mad about it.
You see him wave an arm up and towards the mountain, where like a dozen people come out wearing almost elven design, very smooth designed armor. You see like leaves kind of branching out from the sides of the helmets and off the shoulder plates, all rounded, very smooth. Most of it is made of like inlaid with like silver. The trim of it is all silver. The normal metal itself is something that you're having a hard time identifying. It looks like it's in the ballpark of silver or like platinum, something like that kind of coloring, but you don't know what the metal exactly is, as all these people coming out with spears, bows, crossbows, descend from the staircase and begin like holding out arms, and in Undercommon begin speaking back and forth to Lacenar and Flynn. You understand. They're just asking him to relay like, hey, we're gonna check your bags and make sure you don't have anything bad. And then Lacenar relays that to you, as these guards all have their hands held out in your direction.
Yeah, just give him my bag. Show him my book.
Yeah, hand over our stuff.
Yeah, like 5 or 10 minutes passes, they search through your stuff. The vampire arm gets brought out, and they're just holding it and looking at it, and then they're confused, and then they put it back, and all of your stuff gets returned to you. They, in Undercommon again, discuss, they're good. What's the plan from here? And then Lacenar turns to all of you.
Hey, so you're good. They want to know what we're doing from here. How much time do we have?
On the roughly half a day, maybe less. We told them we were going to leave first thing in the morning. They were going to send them 2 hours after us, but we left half a day. So, my best guess, 4 hours at least.
Right on.
He relays that to the guards. They have a conversation in Undercommon again, discussing what happened. Flynn, you understand that they are discussing sending like a somebody out a little bit to give some sort of signal to everyone else. And they're all in agreement. Somebody starts walking out in the direction you just came from, finding some cover.
Alright. So, we'll honestly probably just, like, sit here on the stairs and wait for them. there's gonna be a commotion up there. He points the opposite direction. We'll just shoot off some stuff, blow some stuff up, be lots of fun. Make them think there's a fight going on. And then, he'll come in here being like, oh, I'm sneaky. And we'll get him. And then, Pharaoh, you can use that vampire arm that explodes and throw it at him. Blow him up.
I wish it worked that way. Maybe I'll find somebody to make it like that. Is this the only way in? Like, there's no underground passages or, like, stuff like that?
This is the only way in from this side. That we know of. Unless they've been tunneling for like 4,000 years or something to get into the city. Which is a possibility. We'll need to have somebody check. Make sure there's no tunnels. Alright then. Ready to go?
Yep. I mean, should we disguise ourselves a little bit? What do you guys think?
Yeah, just in case some of them go and get away. We should look different.
Can you lead us to somebody who has maybe like some paint or something?
No, I gotcha.
Oh, okay.
He takes his stick and kind of like boinks all of you on the head with it as all of you turn into your same height people that look just like Lacenar. So you are all now Lacenar.
Look at that. We're all the same. And start a singing group.
Oh, I like that.
The lovely Lacenars.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
wait.
good one, yeah.
Or the lucky Lacenars.
I hate that one.
Alright. I'm just spitballing there.
We could like do a song to advertise our new door pools.
I think we've got a really good business plan coming up. Let's kill these guys so we can start making pools.
I like this.
And on that confusion, we are going to end the session right there.
Everyone's hands in. Lovely listener.
And we will pick up with all of you looking like Lacenar on the edge of a mountain range, ready to fight whoever these infiltrators are going to be. Good game, guys.
Oof, fun.
Flynn doesn't want anything to do with making pools out of doors, but he also feels bad for making you guys have melty guy nightmares, so... Then again, he did say like 17 times you didn't have to come. Nah, he's a good friend.
Hey, YouTube, thanks for being YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube, because it's the only place you can watch this.
Are we gonna be back next week, same time?
Yeah, D&D is every Sunday at 11. Sometimes we'll play on a Saturday, but if you hit that bell, you'll be notified when we're playing. Like, if you were just to subscribe, you push that button and then turn the damn bell on. You'll know when we're playing D&D, because your phone will say, hey, those cool kids are playing D&D. So thanks, YouTube. Bye.